Welcome everybody! Look at this! I can start a stream without my microphone being muted. Aren't I just amazing? I think in years that is the first time I have actually started up a stream and everything so far seemingly has gone the way I intended it to go. Music's ready. I mean, there was a little bit of a pause on the black screen, but oh well, what can you do? Bow tie's ready and done. Everything here is good. Got the right thumbnail. Everything just mwah. And most of all, I triple checked that my microphone worked before the stream started. How is everybody doing? Welcome, Cramless. Yes, this starts exactly at 10 p.m. ACST. I try to get it on the dot every single time, if not out by a minute or two, but generally on the dot. Welcome, B-Set Automotive fan. G'day, mate. How's it going? I lols you. We have a car of yours this week. Sin, welcome. E-Dragon or Ed Ragan, welcome to the stream again, bro. You've been around way too long. You're not tired of me yet? Buddy, how's it going? I don't believe I've seen you around in these parts before. No, it says remember me. So, obviously, you have been around before. And apparently, I don't. Sorry! Toon Verbergen. Yep, no, I'm saying that right, Toon Verbergen. Coming back to hear my name again. Okay. Apparently, I must have struggled with that name last time. Like, it almost sounds like it's trying to say verbatim, but it's not. Yes, Ekai Min did get his last second car in. Probably not going to bother putting a car on the back, but it's there at least. And before Scuff happened, too bad, bruh. Too bad. I scuffed nothing. And nothing will go wrong. Nothing. I was doing a stream a couple of days ago. Probably would have been more like a week ago since that was the last time I streamed. Somebody's lost track of time. You maybe go check to see if you've got a concussion or something there. Were you in the Creator Clash, were you? Welcome, Moto45. Knock on wood. I don't need none of that silly superstition. I'm perfect. Interesting selection tonight. There is quite a range, is there not? Including a K car that's not actually a K car. Alright, whatever. Say B-Set or Brendan? Probably I'll say B-Set. Works better for me, because it's already written there for me. You see your car? Agurar Julian. Julian. Your name, bro. It's quite a long one. But, sure, if you do. There wasn't even enough cars this week, so I had to, like, drop a little bit of a hint in one of my Discord chats, just saying, like, guys, good news, there's going to be 9 cars this week. And Ekai came through for me. Since you started streaming on Sunday nights, I can be around a lot more. Yep. I don't usually work on Mondays. Good. Are you going to watch the Monaco GP, the Indy 500, and the Coke 600 today? That is a lot of races. Also, I don't know what the Coke 600 is. Never heard of it. I've never really watched IndyCar, though I do think the Indy cars look better currently than F1 cars. The Monaco GP. I didn't know there was Monaco GP this weekend. In fact, I thought that was over like months ago. My memory is terrible. I might look at it, depending what time it is. But then again, I don't know, how many laps is it? It's been a long time since I've watched a live race. I usually just watch the highlights. If there's ever one on at a good time, and I'm in Discord, and I'm not recording or anything like that, I might go in and do it again, because I've done it once before. I went into chat and we all watched the thing together in Discord chat. Liking the look of the grey cutie? What, this one down here? I mean, it does look pretty cool. So there's a little bit of a mismatch in design. but it does look pretty good. Welcome, Eramin. What the hell is your name, bro? Menino? Welcome. I had a 2.4-liter boxer engine making over 64 horsepower. So it's 8 out of 10 a K car. Yeah, alright. So yeah, what's the limit now? Like 660 cc's is still probably the limit for K cars? Yeah. Welcome, Canadian Sam Squanch. If anybody doesn't know, they are also a content creator. So if you want more stuff, they got some stuff. The Coke 600 is a Memorial Day race for NASCAR. Okay. I am completely uninterested in NASCAR. The only time that I've ever actually cared about NASCAR is when Marcus Ambrose, Australia's best ever, what do you call it? V8 Supercars driver, quit for better things. He went to go NASCAR, which I think was a mistake, and the fact that he did terribly kind of points that out, and got shit on all the time because like he didn't probably quite understand how shitty the drivers can be over there. I really only watched a few NASCAR races with him in there. God, I wish Marcus Ambrose never left. Just call you IMC? Why not make your name IMC? I'm not going to remember that. I'm just going to fumble over your name every single time now. Also, the Monaco GP is around 9 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what Eastern time is. I forgot that I'm ACST time, which would be Australian Central Standard Time. But yeah, you get the idea. Forgot that the engine limit on the K cars. That's the one defining feature of K cars. Like, there's other things as well that are limited, but that is the defining feature. The 65 horsepower thing that you were commenting on, that is not a regulation. That is a handshake agreement between all of the car manufacturers, so then the government doesn't have to step in and do like regulations on all the cars. Apparently, I'm Millman. Which is what, like a spin-off of Hud's Mole Man? Kissing me is like kissing a peanut. It appears that your last week's stream got more views than the week before stream. I actually typed Millman on purpose. Okay then. I don't know why. What's special about last week compared to the weeks before, apart from the fact that view numbers? I don't know. Welcome, God MP4. How's it going, bro? Let's see that your car has... Oh, that your car has made it in. Good. Welcome, Indus Brit. Welcome. Phil, man, are you planning to make the McLaren MP4/4? I am unsure. I have a list of cars which I'm planning to make, and I'm not making it a public list. Mostly because people get really shitty. Like, could you just go to that one? Oh, like, people get real shitty if they know your plans, and you're not doing it the way that they want to do it. Then also people try to almost interfere with your plans, which is so irritating. That's why YouTubers don't usually talk about what they're going to do unless it's some sort of event. So, yeah. Marcus Ambrose won a couple of races in Watkins Glen. Yeah, he would win more likely the road tracks compared to oval tracks. Mill is a part of the windmill name. Okay. Mill is also a word of its own. If you use wind to power it, then it becomes a windmill. Run of the mill? Also, Eastern time is time zone for the... No shit, Sherlock! Oh my god! No, I don't know what the time is. Ah! Wow, well done. Milkman86, nice. Welcome, Beam Breaker, to the stream, bruv. How's it going? Let's call me Milkman. Alright, sure, whatever. Space Warrior, hello everyone. Welcome, Space Warrior, to the stream. You can name me Julian. Is that how I pronounce it? Is that pronouncing it right? Glad you agree on something I said. Okay. Lots of cars that look good from here. Okay, good. I finally caught up to the chat. There's a lull. Good. We can go in and have a look at the cars this week. And we're going to start off with this beauty-looking 80s car, which, aside from the tires not really looking 80s, I don't know, I feel they're a little too low profile even. I feel like unless this is a sports car, which this doesn't look to be sporty, the wheels would probably be like 13s at most, and then a really big tire still on top of it. And you might get people buying cross splies for them as well, so you have to take that into consideration, that in the 80s, a lot of people were still buying cross splies around the world. They were the cheaper option, and people didn't really understand the full advantage of radials. And if we're going to be honest, in the 80s, the advantage of radials were not really that much of a chasm, unless you were doing really sporty driving. But then it was kind of like questionable, because cross splies still had their advantages. Windmill Man 86, oh dear. Do I showcase these cars in BeamNG or automation? This is BeamNG. If I had this many cars in automation, it would crash. There would be no way in hell that I would be able to like move around properly. That being said, I have had 100 cars in a scene once. I did a video where I needed that for the thumbnail. And yeah, that was horrific. I wouldn't be able to like move around at all. So this is in BeamNG. One of the races, Marcos Ambrose won at the Glen, ended in a massive crash in 2011 where I believe the 00 flipped. I don't know what that means, but okay. It's a 200 horsepower. I kind of needed the width and size. I think you'll find the cars were just shitter in the 80s. Like, they just ran high-profile tires with really next to no grip. Sorry, they were just bad. Oh, are you talking about just the driving part? The driving part comes later. We're going to have a quick overview of the car. We're going to have an overview of the cars. Not so much a quick overview, but we'll have an overview of the cars before we go out and actually drive them. We'll crash, especially with my 1300 fixtures monstrosity. Ugh, okay. Welcome, Darko. How's it going? The lighting looks good on this map. Usually the exported vehicles look like crap in games, so I got... Okay, fair enough. I do have graphics turned up, so that is also a part of it. Headlight wipers? Yes. Headlight wipers and the little squirters there, pretty good. I do like those little attention to details. Me likey. I like the fact that the indicator is on the side. I get the feeling those are not indicators down there, so that's a problem. You do have to have indicators facing forwards, and you do have to have them facing sideways. They have to do both. So usually what they'll do is they'll have an indicator on the front, sometimes like a corner, maybe even. Sometimes they'll have both, and then like an indicator further back. I think there might be a regulation on that, but I don't know when that came about, so this might be okay to not have one on the side, but you would certainly have one more on the front side of the car. Let's have a look at our wheels. I do like it, full lug nut, which seems pretty decent, except for the fact that this is with 200 horsepower, you said? Horsepowers? Oh my god. That's not the way to say that. Four lugs may not be the right choice, potentially? Who knows? Oh, we got sports disc brakes in here, and we have two piston brakes. That's expensive. So this had better be not a cheap vehicle. Otherwise, that's not entirely accurate. Then we got double wishbone, which is not a very cheap suspension, but if it's a ladder chassis, then we... Oh! It's done that thing where the intake manifold has just decided to go, you don't need that. I mean, technically we don't. But if we're going for realism, automation, get your ass in gear. We have quad cam, 4 valve per cylinder. So, at the end, could somebody tell me which emojis I should get? Because I want an emoji that will somehow represent how angry I am that everyone makes tubular exhaust on cars. Like, there are some exemptions to the rule, but generally, cars don't have tubular exhaust. If you want more power, do the hard work and tune the engine to have more power. Now, car companies would engineer their cars to within the nth degree, using every little trick that they have at their disposal, everything, just to get the power numbers that they want, or as much out of it as they can, whilst keeping the price low. And tubular exhaust is not keeping the price low. And I think I've said this before, the reason why tubular exhaust you don't see very often on cars is they are slow to manufacture, which means one of two things have to happen. Wait, no, which means that if you're one of two things have to happen, which means you either have a low production run car where you don't need to pump out that many cars that fast, or you produce more manifolds, which means you need more area to fit more people producing them in. Because even still to this day, they are often handmade in some sort of regard, even though there is a lot of CNC machines that do a lot of good work with that sort of stuff now that pump it out really fast. So generally that won't happen because more land is not something that companies like to invest in most of the time. Welcome, Mans, to the stream. Hey there, friend. How are you? What's new? I'm watching your videos very often. Cool. Like to hear it. So nice to That's a V6, brah. As denoted by the 3 runners there, the 3 injectors on each side, and the 3 ports. At least you haven't gone turbo with the tubular exhaust. That would not have happened. That is a fairly new thing that's been worked. I remember working in an exhaust shop, and they very specifically, even when working in stainless steel, wouldn't make tubular exhaust headers for turbo engines because they would overheat and warp. So now with the new ceramic coating and heat-treated metals and better metallurgy that comes at a cheaper price these days, that is starting to become more of a common thing that you'll see occasionally. But tubular turbo manifolds, very, very rare up until very, very recently. Do I make the car request? No, people just submit whatever it is that they're proud of that they're working on that week. One day I'll submit a car that have writing on the engine block to tell Phil why it has tubular headers. Sure. But yeah, I'm gonna be making channel memberships a thing soon. So I just have to build up the motivation to release more content, because I don't want to be locked into extra content making. I already feel burnt out all the time. I want to say I had a terrible, shitty time at bowling. God, I wish I could. I want to do bowling, but I just never get the motivation to do it, and I don't have anybody to bowl with. I got 3rd place, although I got a... And you know what, actually, no, I think I do have some friends I could bowl with. I might do that sometime in the next couple of weeks. The Monaco GP is on right now. Well, looks like I'm going to be competing with my viewers. Oh dear. Competing for my viewers, sorry. Make sure the memberships are cheap. There will be a cheap option, yes. And that'll pretty much have most of the stuff available to them. But people that only just want to support me financially, for financial reasons, they can pay more. They just know that they're doing that financially, but not for really any sort of gain. That is their choice. There'll only be a little bit more for them. I'm not sure what that'll be exactly quite yet. In the rear, we have double wishbone and single-piston solid disc brakes. So at least they've gone for the cheaper rear brakes. That I do agree with. As long as they've got the brake balancing right. I mean, it'd probably even, potentially, still even have drum brakes. But I don't know. Depends on the price of the car. If this is really cheap as a car, then it would have drum brakes on the rear. The rear of the car also looks really nice. It's not a super over-detailed car, but everything just kind of works. Except for this line here. It's not quite perfect, but still looks pretty decent. I do like it. Lots of good detail. And that's what I like. Like, for instance, what a lot of people skip is this, like, bumper trim sort of, molding along here that will usually be there. That's not a usual number plate illumination light area. Usually it's on top or on the sides. There, you're probably going to get a wall or water getting in there and then shorting out electrically. But then, I think this is Italian. If it's Italian, they would release the car, have it be terrible, not fix it, then release an update to it, then also not have the fix in that one, like 3 fixes down the line, like updates down the line, they would then potentially have fixed the issue, being like, alright, maybe we should fix that. Water intrusion, that's the word. Gonna submit a car. What car is it going to be? Okay. License plate lights. Do you have Discord server? Yes, I do, and it should be in the description of the stream, if I am correct. The rear of the other car reminds me of Meffa, the Audi Quattro. It does remind me this. I'm not sure if this is one you, because you say, oh, the rear of the guy. Yeah. It does a little bit. Flame C, welcome to the stream, bruv. There's a link in the description. Hey, Philman, Flame. Okay, yeah. Oh, Flam. Flam Z, all right. Let's have a look at the interior of the car. That dash is fairly low. The steering wheel overlaps with the seat quite a bit, so you're going to be cramped in there. What's the... Okay, the seats can be moved back a little bit, I suppose. That is fairly tight. Gated shifter, points off. Gated shifters are expensive. Well, not really that expensive. You know what? No, they are generally expensive, which is why you really only see them on top-line sports cars as a gimmick or only on supercars. I don't think I've ever actually seen one in a sports car, but I get the feeling there might have been a Corvette that maybe had it at one point. I am unclear. But, yeah, I personally have only ever seen pictures of them on Lamborghinis, Ferraris. Wait, what? They're on Lamborghinis? I can't remember. At least on Ferraris. And one Volvo. Not exactly a gated shifter, but one of the coolest looking shifters I have ever seen. Let me see if I can bring that up quickly. Volvo gated shifter. And it's not a straight up gated shifter. It's this. That is the manual shifter of, what is it? I think it's an S60R or something. Like, that is cool. And I wish this was sold in Australia, but it wasn't, which is so unfortunate. It's so freaking cool. I love that. Why didn't they make more cars of that? Was it... Maybe it was like really tricky and expensive to make. I'm not sure. Now, the reason why I know that it wasn't sold in Australia is this was an option only available with the all-wheel drive option, and no all-wheel drives were imported into Australia by Volvo of any name brand. There may have been some independent imports, but yeah, no, we never got that, which is so disappointing. That looks so freaking cool. And I remember talking to somebody saying like, oh, I can't afford this, I'm in Australia, all that sort of stuff, I'm bringing it over, it's wrong inside drive and all that sort of stuff. But I really wish I knew what driving that shifter was like. And the person responded, oh my god, bro, it's as good as you think it is. If you ever get the chance, try one out. And I was like, oh, I want it so bad. I love Volvo, by the way, if you don't know. But yeah, anyway, cool. Hey, Doomblaze, welcome back. And Moto45, welcome back. German vibes? Yeah, it does feel very German in here. Also a little bit Japanese with the dashboard. Feels quite, Nippon? I'm not sure if I said hello to you yet, not Exige, but I'll say it again, not Exige. Hey, Jumbo Jacob, welcome! Okay, so, not Exige. Looks like a semi-spherical piece of plastic, probably not too expensive. Here's the problem. Gearboxes move. So, lining up a gated shifter to have that it becomes really problematic, because generally things have to start being bolted down then, and the transmissions have to be built with tighter tolerances, so everything is not going to move around at all, stuff like that. I know transmissions fairly close in tolerances already. It is probably a little bit easier if you're remotely controlling a transmission. So then that way you can have the plate connected to the thing. But here's the problem with that. If you're going remote like this one is, the transmission is not underneath the car like that. It's a front transversely mounted engine. It either has to be driven, controlled through cables, which is how a lot of front-wheel drive cars are done. Like, they have two cables, kind of similar to like a throttle cable. You'll have an outer sheath and a cable coming out through the hey, and as you move across, it'll move the cable across. Sorry, like that. And then you'll have another one for that axis. And then those cables will go down and hook onto a bracket. Those cables stretch a little bit, so gated shifter, not really accurate for that. The other option is to have hard linkages, which is how they used to be done for remotely controlled transmission sections. The problem with that is generally it's bolted to the body where the shifter is and bolted to the engine where the transmission end of the transmission where that is. So the hard linkages, sure, will have more of a direct connection, but if the engine twists under torque, that's not going to be in the same place again, is it? So we're starting to run into reasons as to why you wouldn't see this very often. The gears are not always in the same place. Only a few cars will ever have a gated shifter. You're addicted to making Mad Max vehicles? Nice. If there is a train body for automation, it has to be Tangara body. I made a train mod for automation. It's in there, you can find it. It's an old Shay locomotive and it doesn't look very good, but it's there. Do whatever you will with that. Anyway. Pretty cool stuff. The place in here is not entirely right. I think the steering wheel is too much of an angle. I think the dashboard is at too much of a back angle. That's going to cause glare coming in to like hit you in the eyes, maybe potentially from certain angles. Rear seats are very sloped. I think you're trying to hide the wheel arch. Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. This one is the wheel arch, and the wheel arch comes ever so slightly through there. I do see what is happening there. So what you'll find on a lot of cars is the seats are actually narrower than the entire width of the car. And then there's like almost seat bolstering on the edges of the thing in real life. Let's see if we can have a look at that. Rear seats. Well, that's just straight up. You got, the place for the tires in here. Wow, that is exaggerated. Here you go. Now you can see it. It's a little bit more bolstered around where the wheel is. So I did a little bit of looking into this, and this is not the search I had for it. It only just popped into my mind here. Now you can see that the passenger is meant to sit about here, and then there's a little bit more of a bulge around here for where the wheel well is. So if you're looking for things to do, here we go. This is a more generic sort of seat. You can see that this is where the person is meant to sit for the most part, and this here is quite a bit more bolstered. That is a little bit for the wheel well. So yeah, if you're wondering how to do that, that's one way of doing it. This is a very weird one. That is very flush. I get the feeling that the wheel well is maybe further back. Also, you are getting a very backward slanted seat, so they're probably doing that to cover up the fact that the wheel well is there. And maybe also covering up a bit of the bolstering having to be there with having more bolstering. And that gets very thin there as well. These are weird seats. Very weird seats. Anyway, you get the idea. So you've done alright, but if you're wondering why it never really seems to work, it's because there is trickery that we don't notice. I will say though, I feel that's too much of a slant. that is not going to be particularly comfortable. So next time, make them a bit narrower, just say no fatties in the back, and then have bolstering extra on the side. Not a fan of carbon fiber shifters. It feels... I find the feels not so... Carbon fiber? That's not carbon fiber. Are you talking to somebody else in chat? Attempted to make a 90s F1... I'm assuming that's meant to be car body. And it's much more difficult than it looks, yeah. Modeling cars, not always the simplest. The only gear sticks I've ever used have been cable-based. Wait, was that... Oh, cable, not carbon, I'm an idiot. Cable actually feels fine if it's a good made cable shifter. My, Ford Fiesta ST150, Mark 6 2007, if you want to get like a exact look at it, ST150 should show what it is, has a cable shifter. And it actually feels really good. I have a problem, my art folder is missing and I need it for mod sounds. Please, how do I fix? Re-export the car with a different name, put that folder into there, and then grab the name of the long hash name of one of the folders. I can't remember which one it is, but it's like the one with the big hash name, and then put that into the sound config area where it's calling upon the name, it draws another hash, put that name of that hash in there, save it and done. Alright, let's have a look at the next car. And they said that this is an SUV, and I don't think they needed to, because this looks like a hatchback, and the body that they used does look a little bit SUV, but if you drop it down and do stuff like this, it looks like an SUV. Kind of like how the Escudo Pikes Peak Performance, Escudo Pikes, damn it, Pikes Peak. I never knew that that was an SUV growing up. Mostly because we don't call it the Escudo here. I think this is meant to be like a Jimny or something, is it not? I can't remember. But yeah, that looks nothing like an SUV to me. Like they've wide-bodied out what looks to be a small little hatchback. I thought this was so cool. I love this car. Mostly because of like Gran Turismo back in the day when I was young. Like, just playing with this thing, it was the beastly car. You could just add so much power to it. It was so stupid. But also like 1200 horsepower or something you could get out of that thing? Damn. Hey, Groundhog, how's it going? Vitara, that's the one it is. Welcome, Charlotte Michael. How's it going? Anyway, this is a pretty cool looking car. I do like a lot of this. Let's have a look at the aero in and out. Very small aero in. That is very small. So that explains why there's only a very small out as well, which, okay. You'd probably still, though, have a lot more aero in because you are going to need to call these brakes somehow. So you'd probably have like some sort of vent in here that would pipe around and go to the front brakes. Let's have a look here. This has a much bigger one. I believe it is mid-engine, so it's got like extra air ducting up there. I'm sure that some of this would probably be siphoned off to go into the brakes. They got ventilation up there for the front wheel wells, all that kind of stuff. Do we have a better image? Here we go. So, yeah. Also, there's lots of ventilation out here for the wheel well. I wish there was a good way of doing that for automation cars, but there really just isn't, unfortunately. I've tried many a times to do that. I've got a body coming out soon that'll have that available. It's just a rework of the standard body. I do like this. Looks pretty darn good. Lots of extra vent in on the side there. No top vent like the Escudo, but okay. A little bit of ventilation in here, like some sort of... Is that like a twin Nakaduck? I didn't know that ever existed. And I can imagine that it's probably not as effective as a single Nakaduck. I don't know. Weird one. Let's have a look at the running gear that we got. We should probably do that very first. Very small wheels and tires, but also very wide. And they look to be off-road tires, so that's going to be... Ugh. I also like the fact that these are very more accurate, period-correct sort of wheels. Yeah, quite accurate. Then we have 3 6-piston. Is that carbon ceramic? I don't think carbon ceramic brakes existed when this body was meant to be done, so this had better be like an aftermarket thing. Also, 6 piston? That's excessive. We have ourselves some double wishbones up front, and no engine, so it is mid-engine. Coming down to the rear, we have tubular exhaust going into a turbo. If it's a custom exhaust, a lot of these custom exhausts going into turbos still, depending on what their limitations of money is and how long the car has to drive for, they would use what was called steam pipe for doing exhaust manifolds for turbos. Tubular exhaust for turbos, very recent, like 15, 20 years in terms of cars. That's quite recent. Fanny Fax Bear! How's it going, bruv? From memory, the engine in this car you are currently looking at has the engine in the rear, but the engine nodes in the front. Oh dear. I might have downloaded most of this week's cars and tested them. Alright then. They actually 15 inches and semi-slicks. Is that semi-slick? I don't know what you've done to the materials, but that is not a semi-slick material. You know, that is actually weird. I don't know what's happening there. That might be semi-slick. It doesn't seem to be. What do we got for brakes on the rear? We have 1 piston carbon ceramics. So this thing is probably going to wash out hard under heavy braking. Read the description, Alberto Motors. It has all the stuff there and links for you. Cross-ply slicks. Not that low profile. Let's have a look. 5 valve? No, that's only 4 valve. Good, okay. So at least there's that. We have... Oh, the engine and transmission are backwards. That's why the engine is in the front. You said the engine node's in the front. Okay, that makes sense. Odd choice, but okay. I suppose they wanted to have the look, but not the disadvantage of having that in such a short wheelbase car. Let's have a look at the Scudo. Is that wheelbase stretched? Or is that just me? I feel like that might be stretched. So, you mean you could have tried to have done that, but it would have been really difficult. Those are 3 pistons, I think. The body didn't have mid-engine available, so I did... Ah, okay. Smart thinking. There's radial semi-slicks, but it seems to have bugged out. That happens sometimes. I'm not sure how your brakes are, but potentially look at my video on brake tuning if you haven't seen that. We'll see how the brakes actually go when we get in. And then the thing that I noticed is the fact that you've got here my wing that I made for the 312 Ferrari. I'm sorry, I can never look at this and see anything other than a 312 Ferrari wing. So for me, that's really... what you could have potentially done is painted everything else, possibly. I'm not sure. You should be able to. Everything here invisible, and then created your own bracketry to go down. I do like it though. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see how it goes. Streaming scheduled every Sunday. Why are we talking about this? When's the next stream? Next stream is going to be starting at the same time this stream started. I submitted it, but I don't see it in any post. I don't know what you mean. Big Wang? Yeah. Then we got this car. Very... like, it could be Northern European. So, like, France, maybe Russian, could be like Belgian or something like that. It looks very Northern European sort of thing. Could be from the block, who knows. No other wing has available that looked appropriate for this thing. I needed something insane, and the 312 was calling manic. Fair enough, okay. Still, for me, that is going to withdraw me a little bit. I just realized it says Slothmans. What? What's Slothmans? Huh? Huh? What are we talking about? Reminds you of the Tatra? I mean, it does a little bit. I do see that, yes. Okay, I see that. You do love this car? It does look pretty good. I like the fact that they've also not just gone whatever tires they want. They've actually got some... It's really hard to see the details here. That is really low resolution for some reason. I don't get it. But that looks like a medium compound at most. Our brakes... Okay, so they're not drums, so this isn't a cheap car. I would have loved if this thing did have drums, though. That would have just been like, mwah, oh, perfect. Would have loved that. Double wishbone, 2-piston. Nah, I'm gonna say no to that. Unless this is like a really upmarket car, you're not gonna have that. So this is not a cheap car then. It has a short cast, not a cast log. Even though I think I saw... No, that is a fairly big. That's a 2-barrel carburetor. So that's not an eco carburetor of any sort. And then an overhead camshaft. So very much not a cheap engine. Not an expensive engine, but not a cheap engine. I think is a good way of putting that. Because it's not a push rod or anything like that. Which is like really piece de resistance cheap. So this must be a mid-class kind of car. It looks like it would be a rear engine a little bit, but that's the Tatra sort of thing that you're talking about. Haven't given this car a try though. Okay. Reminds me of the Moscovich. Don't know what that is. Welcome. No, I've already said the welcome to you. Budini, I'm not sure if I've said hello to you yet, but I will say that anyway. For me, it looks like the Moscow... Yep, okay, well, that's another person. The front of the Pikes Peak car has... something sponsors from... Okay, cool. Let's go... So we don't have all-wheel drive. Good, okay, so they haven't fallen into that trap. Into the back. Oh, okay, we have leaf springs. Fairly standardized sort of equipment. And drum brakes. Interesting. Let's have a look at the back design. Nice. It does look quite... like, very Northern European. Yes, a little bit Russian. Quick info, the... Okay, you're talking about train stuff. I don't know. Let's move on. I like the fact... I'm pretty sure that is a painted wheel. With, like, some exposed steel. I know it looks chrome, but that would just be steel, most likely. With a painted wheel. Let's have a look at the inside. Ooh, the inside is looking very clean. Feel that the dash might be just a smidgen bit higher. Nice door cards and everything looking fairly good in here, actually. I like the wood trim. Fairly good. Yeah, no, that steering wheel is way too low. You're going to struggle to get your legs past that unless you, like, lift up your leg and go around the steering wheel and then kind of, like, move yourself into the seat. That's going to be a problem. Unless this is for amputees and for some reason you left the pedals in there, who knows. 2-pistons probably be fine for 1969. Not for anything that wasn't, like, high up market sort of thing. I doubt you're going to see that. I've seen this car before. Okay. Yeah, I like the little vent here, everything. You've got lots of lovely details here. Except for, yes, that is a little too low and a little too pinchy there. Pretty good. You've got some weird... I'm going to call it carpeting there. I think it looks funky, though. So I will say that that is okay. And as you see, this seat has bolsters, so that, like, helps cover up the whole wheel thing. Not a whole lot of legroom in the rear, but also not particularly bad. This isn't a big car. This is a medium-sized family car, so that's passable. You'd expect not to be often carrying adults in the back of this thing, no. Well, tall adults. I suppose back in the 60s, people would have been a little bit shorter. Changed off topic? Yes, they are. Another car that makes you remove your legs before entering. Yep, another one of those. Don't expect the streamer will respond every single thing chat says. Yeah, that, and also, if it's off topic, why am I reading it? Alright, then we have this kind of... I think they said it was a C4. A very close approximation, I believe, is what they were trying to go for here. Let's have a look at the wheels. I do like the wheels. They match pretty well. A little maybe too scratchy, I'm not sure. We have 3 piston brakes. They are solid though, so that's interesting. Odd choices, I suppose. Sure, but then again, I think this is meant to be in 1984. I can't really remember. I know that my Volvo 244 from 1983 had an option for vented disc brakes on the front. Solid in the rear, but vented in the front, and that's what we had. I think that some trims of the Mini had 2 Really? Weird. I suppose their brakes would have been really minuscule, so they might have needed the help. You don't need LEDs to drive? Eh? Oh, legs, I'm assuming you mean. Okay, then. The Z4 was from 1983. Okay, then. 3 piston, though. That seems a bit much. I do like the fact that this is a, medium or hard long knife. I can't quite tell which one that is. I do like that. Ah, push rod. Mechanical fuel injection? I don't know what the Lotus had, but I don't think... Did Corvette ever have mechanical fuel injection? I don't think it ever did. I think it went straight from carbureted to, like, a really terrible electronic injection sort of setup. Like, worked. Pretty good for the day, but, like, ever trying to work on it or anything like that, like, fix things with it. Problematic. I believe, I watched a tuning video on it, on an old, GM... early fuel injection system, and they said it's basically all binary. So what you would do is you would just change all of the binaries in like half of it, see if you get like the one thing you want to have change, and if you didn't, then that side you turn it back and leave that as it is, and then divide the other part in half, and then turn one of those off, and then if it's in there or not in there, you would work in whichever half you would then derive that it's from, and then you would work in that half of binary, and then change everything there to the opposite direction, and then you would work through it that way. That's how horrible early fuel injection systems were. But then again, they weren't really huge files, but working on computer files back then would have taken forever. Top of the line C1 had mechanical fuel injection. Oh, okay then. No, the Corvette had mechanical fuel injection since the C3. Okay then, I didn't know that. The ones that have fuel injection is probably double overhead cam via... I don't know. Maybe. I thought that one was electric though. Welcome, Egan family. How's it going? C1 even had mechanical fuel injection. Oh, really? Interesting. So we have... Is it 2-pit? Okay, only 2 valve. They didn't go 3 valve. Wait, is the combustion chamber modeled here? Oh, it is too. Interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Maybe I have, I'm not sure. But then we got a short cast manifold. Very cheap, very economical on that. And the mechanical fuel injection would have been quite expensive, but then again, you could get a base model Volvo with mechanical fuel injection. So, I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo the juxtaposition there of, like, the super expensive and the relatively cheap. I mean... If we're talking keeping things cheap, they had pushrod, and I think they still have pushrod up to this day. Cylinder heads. Oh. Anyway, let's run down to the back. We have solid axle. Wait. Did this come with solid axle? I thought by this point it would have had double wishbone in the rear. Am I wrong in that? Maybe I'm wrong in that. Is that drum brakes? Did the... No, that looks like a glitched out disc brake. It's unclear. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Rear looks very Corvette. Well done. Very little bit bland and basic on the design. I'm not a fan of that big lip here on this. That doesn't look particularly great. Alright. Oh, okay. Now I know what's happened here. Okay. What's happened here with this glitching out thing is you've got a fixture which comes default mirrored. You put it snap into the middle, but yet you didn't tell it to not mirror. And a lot of the time, automation will go, well, that's fine, we'll still mirror it. And you'll get 2 of them like this, and it's really, really silly. Because if it's asymmetrical, it'll mirror it, but they'll both be in the same direction, so you won't be able to tell that it's still mirrored. It's so weird. It's an American car, it's fusion of modernity? Okay, I don't know if that's quite the right word you were looking for. And conservatism that is dizzying if you think about it. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, no, but this is Corvette. Corvettes were, like, more than normal cars. Zero piston disc brake. Nice. I remember my old Volvo had a dual setup where it was a drum brake with a disc on the outer part. So it had just like a very small drum brake, very small, just for the handbrake. And the outer part was the regular disc brake for driving. Corvettes can't be modded properly. They have independent rear suspension since the C2, if I remember correctly, but they still have leaf springs. What, like Diddy on tube? Is that what you're talking about? Is it Corvette, but it's also American, so yeah, fair enough. Okay. Modern the quality of being... Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's have a look at the interior. Oh. Modern minimalism. Great. What you could have potentially done, though, is made the windows completely invisible. Oh, dear. At its worst, this is what mirroring centered things does. Yeah, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But this is going to be really irritating for me with my ADD to have that in my peripheral vision when I'm driving around in this car. Yeah. Decent. Next vehicle. I believe this was a car that was submitted last week, but this is like an uprated version. I don't know if it's sports or not. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Maybe I'm thinking of a different vehicle. Can't see. There's too much happening in here. Yes. Okay. So if you were here last week, this is the car we had last week, but with more power? I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. I like the fact that they got tubing in here. Is this side draft? Oh yes, you've modeled a side draft? Yes, they have. Okay, this is what I wish automation had. I really, really wish they did, and I don't know why they have not implemented side draft, because it is so cheap and nasty. If you notice here, no intake or exhaust here. The intake and the exhaust are all on the one side. I love it. Best car in the stream, no cap. The old Volvo setup is how modern European vans handbrakes are set up. Fair enough. This guy puts BMW engines in there. Okay. The difference is that there is one secret has 3 motorcycles in the engine bay. Okay. Just the entire motorcycle, okay. Last time it was a Beetle engine. It's now a Golf engine. Oh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, I do love the fact that this is side draft. That is piece de resistance. Let's go in and see what we have in here. Very weird wheels. Like, very covering? Might be the word to use there? Can't tell if it's steel. I don't think this is steel. I think this looks like some sort of mag wheel or something. Then we have a fairly big 2-piston brake. Solid, but that looks very not cheap. So I'm unsure if this is a real car or not. Then we have McPherson strut. Camera moved weirdly just then. And oh, you've created the entire like chassis and everything. Oh man, there is so much work in here. Very well done. Let's move down. We don't have drive to the rear because it is a longitudinal front engine. We have semi-trailing arm. Interesting choice. I suppose that's to keep a low boot line so then you can have more storage space. Is there stuff in the boot? Oh, there is stuff. They've got like boot lining and everything. Oh, look at that. They've even got the stuff for the fuel tank here. That's pretty cool. Love the little attention to details. Attentions to detail? Attention to details. That'd be the right one. Alright, my brain is failing me. Exhaust doing automation stuff. Okay, unless that is how they made it. I'm not sure. It looks custom exhaust to here. I don't know. Whatever. Cadron. Interesting. Or they've got the body seam line. So this is something I will put in very occasionally. Not usually for videos because that's a lot of extra time. This whole like side panel of the vehicle will be one panel. And that'll be punched out of one piece of steel. The problem is they want to have also a sill down here. But they can't punch a bit of metal and then stretch it all the way down there. It'll cause lots of problems. Is probably a way of like making that sound not as bad as what it really would be. So they would snap it out of two things, but then they have to seam it together. Now they could have it on the inside, but there's not a whole lot of room to work there, and that would require a little bit more labor or more computer time to get welders in there to those tricky places, or have the machines do it for you, which just probably wouldn't have been built by machine for that particular part. So what they would do is they would just have the seam on the outside. And the Blue Wonder even had a seam on the outside. Pretty sure this whole car is custom made from fixtures. I'm assuming not the entire body. Let's have a quick look to back up that statement. Yeah, okay. So there is fixtures on here, like this is a fixture trim. But no, this is... So not everything. I think you mean maybe everything on the inside. Let's have a look at the underbody of this car. Yeah, that underbody looks custom. Is that all... That is all individual parts. Wow. The effort you went to for that, bro. And the fact that you've made it, I mean, for the most part, the textures have worked. Like like it's tarred on the underneath, or undercoated, or whatever. The GT 1.8, love it. Let's have a look at the inside. Very sporty and not cheap-looking seats. Is this a... You made the seat custom as well. Oh my god, bro. You are insane. That is way too much effort. Oh my god, amazing work. Are we on this car now? Ah, yes, animated steering wheel with logo. Is that a complete custom steering wheel as well? I'm unsure. I mean, it looks like this might be it. Yeah. That is not a mod fixture steering wheel. They made this steering wheel custom and then made that rotatable, which is... if you watch my tutorial on how to make steering wheels, it does allow you to do all of this sort of stuff. Creating your own steering wheel. You don't have to use a stock fixture. You can add labels to it and everything that you want to do if you follow my tutorial. If you follow the other tutorials that are out there, sure, hell of a lot simpler. But this custom work, mwah, is the word molto bene. Is that the Italian for beautiful girl or something? I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It's a little bit tight on the knees, but not the worst. Is there meant to be a gap here? I know that some seats did actually come with gaps, so I don't know if that's meant to be intentional or not. The rear! That is very tight on the rear. Oh no. Considering that seat is almost in perfect position. JB is done by somebody else. No, okay. The clock works? Oh, nice. Man, that car is perfect. There's a lot of cool detail in here. Very well done. Very close attention been paid here. Where is the clock? Ah, there we go. Clock. 11:08? Yes, that is the correct time on the clock. Well done. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. No, I like it. Did we see the... Yeah, it sounds right. There was actually a boot lining in here for the most part. Is that a spare wheel I just saw? Yep, spare wheel. Nice. Even the shock towers and everything. Do we have... Oh, no bolts on the tops of the shock towers. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. What's that meant to be? Oh, okay. I see what the fixture is now. Is that meant to be some sort of... Not sure what that's meant to be for. But I don't know. This is saying everything is custom. I bow down to the person who made this. Yes! If you ever think, oh, I think I'm done, I can't think of anything else to do, just look at cars like this. There is always more to do if you are willing to do it and if you think it is worth it and where you want to put that extra effort. This person put the effort in almost everywhere. I am going to poo-poo this around here, though, is not entirely perfect. But then again, a lot of this would also be like body colored, because it would just be painted metal. It did really raise the bar. That was a few months ago. It didn't really raise the bar. That was a few months ago. What? Actually, go down to my car measurement to the rear seat and using the automation roller through. Oh, wow. Nice. You actually measured the seat gap. Well done. In real life, this car have the same e-space in the rears. Don't worry. Okay, then. Seat release. Ah, you're right. That might be seat release. What happened in a few months? I don't know, man. Anyway, that is phenomenal. Is that? That was the wrong button to press. Let me get down here. Is that meant to be at an upward angle, contrary to the straight line that is for the rest of the bumper? I don't know. That looks peculiar to me. But yeah. Very well done. I know that you must love this car, and I very much approve. Anyway, now we have a BMW looking mofo. Very sporty version. I never like the fact that this is this fixture here comes with default chrome. I hate that. I also hate the fact that it comes way back. Comes back way too far there as well. Let's have a look. We have what seems to be... Is that a sports tire? I think that's a sports tire. On big wheels. 6-piston. McPherson strut. Okay. Unusual. Tubular exhaust man. Single overhead cam? 4 valves. What? Some very peculiar choices have been made here. Individual throttle bodies. If this is aftermarket, I will excuse the exhaust manifold. Otherwise, I don't think this engine in a BMW or anything similar to a BMW would be a single overhead cam with individual throttle bodies. That just doesn't seem right to me. Anyway, let's go have a look at the rest of the car. Coming down to the rear, we have independent rear suspension, double wishbone with 4-piston solid disc brake? What are the choices being made here? Hold on. The fronts. Were they solid or vented? They're solid as well? What? What is happening here? Race tubular exhaust, that's excessive. I do think that there has been maybe a misunderstanding of cars went into making this car, which is okay. I don't expect everyone to be high level. But yeah, no, these things are weird. I don't know. Do BMWs use McPherson strut? I don't know. Let's have a look at the rest of the exterior of the car. Fairly okay. This looks a little bit weird, but I do get it. It does look like I get that it's meant to look good. And unfortunately, it just hasn't really worked probably the way you want it to. But it looks okay. So we're not going to poo-poo that too much. You're working within the limitations that automation has set for you. I like the rear diffuser, all that sort of stuff, and the twin exhaust that you've cut out for. Nice little detail there. Fuel cap doesn't really feel like that is the right place for that, but that's okay. Your seats are too high, especially your rear seats. Way too high. Way too high. So the way of thinking of it is kind of like the shoulder line of the seat will be in line with the window line, unless it's a particularly peculiar vehicle. Yes, a lot of BMWs did come with ITBs, but I don't think they ever bothered with an ITB on a single overhead cam. Also, I just realized that this is a metal folding convertible roof as well. The brakes are going to fry? Yeah, very most likely. Yeah, it does look a little bit like a wrong engine being put in here. Not really the right position and tilting for the dash, I don't think. I'm not sure. Once again, we've got an amputee, car for amputees. What is this, school for ants? Not too bad, though. Rear seats, they're okay. Way too tall, though. All right. This is probably a car from either somebody that's not been scrutinized before, which is fine. Not a lot of people do scrutinizing stuff. Or from somebody that is not hugely experienced, which is also okay. I do say hello to all beginners. Speaking of saying hello to people, welcome Tasek. How's it going? And Logan Thompson, Gage Dykstra as well. Welcome everyone to the stream. The switch in Phil's reaction from the VW. Wow, this is so good. To the VW. Oh, that's get this away from me. I mean, I wouldn't say get it away from me, but there's a lot of details on here which I would like to see touched up. They stretched the front seat to be longer. Did they? They did too! Look how far that stretches. Man, just have the seats further forward. Like, people have to get in through this gap to get to the rear seats. Why have them stretch so much? Jesus. And you can have the seats further back anyway, and lower. And have the steering wheel higher. The car looks clean? Okay, Tasek, if you say so. This is like a BMW that has had its engine stolen and replicated with parts bin. And you know what it is? 50 years down the line, people are making kit cars of BMWs. And they're like, a Honda engine is cheap from the same era, so use that. Because, you know, being BMW, being German of this era, the engines just don't last. Hey, Philman, make the Batmobile. Already did that, that's a video. Lol people, a lot of new people here. Yes, welcome new people to the stream. North Korea BMW. Okay, yeah, that works. Welcome Alberto Motors to the stream. How's it going? I don't believe I've seen you around here before. My car is available on the Reddit post. Okay. Welcome Exilic. Long time no see, I think. Didn't Philman already made the Batmobile? Yes, I did. Alright, then we've got the Purple Wonder. I believe that's what they called it. Let me double check that. Yes, the Drifting Purple Wonder. Yeah, so this is based on my Blue Wonder body. Go figure. Very basic, I'm assuming no interior. Okay. So we're just having mostly a look at the details on the car. Nice painted wheels. Very period accurate. Drum brakes on the front. Love it. Double wishbone. Then, oh, triple Solex. Sorry. Triple twins? Or would you call it like, hex? Hexel? Hextuple? Hextuple. I think it might be hextuple. Or septuple? No, septuple is 7. I don't think I've ever heard of, like, the name for 6 of something. If anybody knows if I got it right or there's actually something else for a number of 6 of something, like quadruplets or something like that. Welcome... Oh no, I already said hello to Budini. You're not getting another one. Weber carbs? Sure. I love purple, probably my favorite color. I mean, I like purple. Wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I do like it. Yeah, and then, oh, tubular exhaust. Okay, fair enough. This is meant to be a race car. Overhead cam, 2-valve cylinder. This is the sort of thing you would see in a race car, and if this is meant to be very similar to my Blue Wonder, then very well done. I like it. 6 is sextuple. Okay. Oh, you're right. It is sextuple. That's what it is. My brain is terrible. Very weird one, that one. I just got a whole bunch of people to write sex in the chat. Love it. Skidaboo, welcome. Skibidabop. This was the F1 delivery car for the Mercedes. I mean, I made the Blue Wonder. This purple made the Purple Wonder, which is, I'm assuming, meant to be very similar. Using my mod body. Independent rear suspension. Double wishbone. More drum brakes. Very, very accurate. I love it. What sort of wheels we got on here? Tires, sorry. They look like hard long lives. Nice. Like it. Back end also looking very, very Mercedes-ish. So I feel that this is meant to be which is very similar to my car. They've chosen the variation, though, that has the trim line down here. I decided not to have that variation on my car. And they didn't put the indicator up there, and the indicator here is very two-dimensional, oh sorry, very flat I should say, not very three-dimensional, like the version I copied. There is, even though really only originally one of these, I think. Maybe there was one? Oh, I think there was only one. But there were different iterations of it, like they would go over and do different things. For one of which they would have steel sometimes, but not always, covering this part. Sometimes there would be a trim line down here, and sometimes there wasn't. Odd choices were made. Made it into a drift car, apparently? Yes, apparently. Mr. Foreman, this is a new muscle car. You should make 1937 Sabretooth into... You just want me to make a very specific car? 1973 with a 1.3 second 0 to 100? That seems quite unlikely. So probably not going to be doing that one. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Now, I like this car. It feels very concept car from like late 80s to any time during the 90s. And I like it a lot for a lot of different for a lot of different reasons. And that's why... What is this song? Oh no, there's actually a song here. It's not just like random music. Oh, sorry, random notes. Can I make a vector model for automation? Probably not, no. I loved the rear of this thing. It just seemed so quintessentially concept car from the 90s, and I loved it so much I had to put it in the thumbnail. Even if it wasn't like a particularly standoutish sort of car, I love the design of it. I just went, you know what? That has to be in the thumbnail. I love this car. Mwah! Well done. Let's go have a look at the running gear. We have slotted brakes. 2-piston. Okay, for the 90s, that's okay. McPherson strut. Very sort of thing you would see in the 90s. Then we have 4 valves per cylinder, double overhead cam, flat 6. Is that twin turbo? Yes, it is twin turbo. On short cast manifold. Interesting. I feel in the 90s though, you would have had major problems with these turbos overheating the oil and cooking the oil, and the engines not having the longest of lifespans, because heat management in these older cars, not particularly great. Especially flat engines not being really the greatest for airflow a lot of the times, depending how they were designed, obviously, with the engine bay. Jazz intensifies? Yeah. This is music is amazing, lol. Okay. Ah, Broken Earth, you are here. I thought you were here. Suspension is not accurate for a 90s Japanese sports car, though. I don't know. There were a lot of cars with the McPherson struts from the 80s, but a lot in the 90s. So, I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo it too much. If it's a monocoque, it was a very cheap option. Phil, I don't usually ask you to look up cars, but could you look up the FBS? Alright, let's have a look. You're a long-time viewer, so... let's have a look. Welcome, Benjamin Salturo. How's it going, bruv? It has VTEC. Not quite. Ah. Okay, I get what you're putting down. This is a wholly hideous vehicle. I'm not seeing one angle where this doesn't look ugly. There, that looks ugly. Like, the front looks like... you know a fat man with, like, the gut hanging so far over their belt, and they're wearing a shirt that doesn't go quite long enough? That's what that looks like, where, like, you see the gut hanging out from underneath. And then the back? Oh. You know, this is reminding me a little bit of that, like, really ugly French... what was it, a Renault or something? With, like, the inverted rear glass. That's kind of what that's giving me vibes of. I hate this. And then from this angle... oh. It's so bad. this angle. Oh my god, it's horrible. That is Fat Man, like, excess skin fat gut hanging over and out of shirt. Oh dear. A BMW Z3 with a weird body kit. You know what, it actually reminds me a little bit more of a Z8, this car. Yeah, I get a little bit of Z8 from this. Not so much Z3. You know what? Just to make it worse for you guys. I'm looking for, like, the excess skin look. Fat skin hanging out. Kinda, yeah, like that. No, that's still more of a bulge. There, like that. That's kind of what that's reminding me of. You see that now? A little bit like fat hanging out over the end. Yeah, let's close that tab off and never open that one again. Alright, I just wanted to make sure you guys got the same feeling I did. A little bit of Z8, yeah. Stop. Good. And Phil just been put on a watch list. Pretty sure not everyone here has Mpreg fetish, Phil. Alright, fair enough. What have you just joined us in? You've joined me torturing people just as much as my mind just tortured me a second ago. Individual throttle bodies on a 90s car? I'm not sure about that. Depends how concepty this is. But I suppose a Japanese car might have it, because they were very much into ITBs in the 90s for some reason, and I appreciate them for that. That's how I managed to get one for very cheap, and I'm going to be putting on a car one day. Running down here, we have... Wait, this is an all-wheel drive, is it? Okay. I mean, I would have given this car a pass for having all-wheel drive, because that would have just been a thing to do in the 90s. Alright. Semi-trailing arm, single piston vented brakes in the rear. Okay. Not particularly out of this world. Out of the norm, I should say. Oh, look at that! A steering wheel in a good position for once! I'm joking that not everyone's has been particularly bad. Very small gear shifter, and I think you've got also the centering but still mirrored thing happening here. As you can see, this is glitching out a little. Wow, there's a lot of little detail in here. Like the little flop there, you've got that in the right place. Handbrakes in the right place, kind of. I like a lot of this. It's doing really well. I don't like how this looks like it's not joined, but then again, there was also a lot of dashes where they deliberately made the console section, not console, the dash cluster area looked like it was a separate add-on piece, like the old Lamborghini Countachs and whatnot. Weird days. Yep, they got the right number of pedals, all that sort of stuff. Rear seats, particularly small. But I do like the fact that it's a target top sort of thing. Though not target top, it's, I can't think of what, like, the term is where you remove the center roof. Very, 90s sort of idea. And then hatchback, so then you could try to fit that really big section in the back there. Pretty cool. I do like it. A lot. A lot of detail in just this headlight as well, as you can see. Well, not a lot of detail. But this is, like, nice and rounded. They've got the right shapes in there that they wanted. Do we have indicators on the front? Yes, indicators on the front and side. Oh, there's a bit of vent in there as well. Lovely little detail. Love it. There's so much that I just like about this car. And it's like what now seems like a mundane car from the 90s. But back in the 90s, this thing would have been like everyone going like, wow, that car is so cool, but they'll never make it. I wish they would, sort of thing. Would have had a lot of fanfare behind it. Semi-trailings in Japan cars is usually found on 70s front-wheel drive cars. Okay, sure. I really only know of the BMWs back in this period having semi-trailing arm. But this is, I believe, meant to be Japanese that is Italian-inspired. So, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of European influence on this. Let's move on to the next one. This one I have a lot of problems with. There probably wouldn't have been glass over this. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think for this time period that would have had that. The rest of it looks kind of okay. The ventilation here doesn't really seem to be the right sort of shape or size. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. But mostly, the wheels and tires don't look right. If this is a supercar or a race car, this would have had cross plies. And these look like radials. Especially, those look like semi-slicks. Semi-slicks didn't become a thing until the mid-70s, basically. Before then, they were considered dangerous. Let's see if we can find that car in here. See what year it's meant to be. 1966, yes. This thing, 1, would have had cross plies. 2, would have not had semi-slicks. Probably wouldn't have even had sports. It probably would have had like a medium or a hard long life sort of compound. Let's have a look at the running gear. Probably drum brakes, but you could get away with pistons. Sure, single piston, very small, very cooky, but okay, they will cook. Double wishbone, that's fine. Coming down to the rear, we have double wishbone again. 60s, yeah, you would have still had double wishbone. And a single piston rear brake, small, is going to cook. But that's also very accurate for the time period. Tubular exhaust, this is a race car sort of thing, so I will say that yes, that is entirely acceptable. Into mufflers, okay, so not entirely race. We have 2 valves of cylinder. Oh, yes, I love it. Because a lot of weird cars back in the day would have dual overhead cam, but then still bother only with 2 valves per cylinder. That is a cool quirk, but I feel that that was probably a mistake on their behalf. But I do love it. It's cross-ply semi-slicks. This is. Maybe you shrunk the tires down, but that is too low profile. Oh, you're right. That is the cross-ply tread pattern. Ah, my bad. Okay. They probably would have had either a thicker tire wall or a more shapered tire. Let's have a look. 1966 Le Mans. Images. We're gonna get a lot of Ford, aren't we? That's fine. Let's have a look at the Ford. No, they didn't by the looks of it. Still would have been cross-plies though. God damn it, can we have a good picture? Let's have a look. We'll actually specify the Ferrari for Le Mans. God damn it, why is it a small picture? Is that a bigger picture? There we go. Okay, I'm wrong. But the wheels also look wrong. So here you got like very chunky magnesium sort of things. One, you probably could have gone with a center lug nut of some sort. Or a center lug in some sort of way. But not this like very enclosed sort of wheel. That doesn't look right. And having colored wheels back in the day, also very common. So you can see here it's gold. A lot of the times these wheels were just black as well. I think part of the reason why a lot of times they were black is so then they wouldn't look blacker as the race would progress with like brake dust on them. Can we see there them getting dark? No, that's a video game. That's unfortunate. Anyway, you get the idea. Why is there mirrors here and then another mirror here? Wow, their blind spot must have been crazy. Welcome, Border 140 Tame. How's it going? Thanks, E-Dragon. This reminds me of Price R380 race car. Prince R380. I kind of see that. Wow, the front tires are incredibly narrow. Oh dear, the weight bias must have been so far to the rear. That would have been, yeah, probably really problematic. Can we see like a rear tire somewhere? Okay, the rears aren't that wide either by the looks of it if it'll load anytime soon, yeah. And as you can see that none of these had semi-slicks either. So 60s wouldn't have had semi-slicks. Alright, I head off for now. See you later, Fanny. You could never have too many mirrors. Sure. Okay. More obnoxious saxophone. Okay. Hey! I love that cage and I also love the headrestless seats. I love it. This is really cool in here. I do like this. I don't like the fact that this looks rounded. If this was like an old thing, this would probably just be completely flat for a metal plane. Like they would have just been cheap and simple on that design on the interior. I don't also like the fact that this gear lever thing, like with the boot, is over a thing. I wish the creator of this mod would fix that, to not have a gated shifter look there. Usually when I use this mod in this sort of fashion, I'll just push it down so that you can't even see the gated shifter part. Or put another square on top of it to cover that part up. Something. But yeah, not too bad. I do like this cage. That was more common though on open rear areas and not so much on enclosed glass areas. So, I mean, I kind of like it, but I also disagree with its application here. Love the interior. Very subtle, very clean, very nice. I like. Is the mirror any good for the rear? Yeah, the mirror's pretty good. Alright. Pretty cool stuff here. I feel you could have made this out of leather and that would have looked much cooler. And then like a little bolt here or an eyelet of some sort, that would look really cool on the thing. So it's like a leather strap to lift up the door. You know, that sort of stuff that they would do to keep things cheaper. Like, what was it? The old original 911 or one of the original 911s to be like for the race car. It didn't have a window winder. What it had was a strap. And it was just basically over the top lip, and then it would go down and attach to the bottom of the window. And you'd pull down on the strap, and then you button it in place, and it would hold the window up. Or you'd let it down, then button it in place, and the window would stay down, sort of thing. That was pretty cool. I don't know how it would do going over bumps, though. That seems like it might be a problem. Chinese Ferrari? Maybe. Who knows? What is that playlist? Attribution not required and funky. Set by oldest uploaded. Amangsing? Not amazing. Amangsing. Okay. Amazing sax. Oh, I also like the fact that they've got the slide window there. Pretty cool. Then we've got this K not K car. Also the fact that it's... I suppose it's a European number plate, so it doesn't need to have the K car number plate. But there are K car number plates that you could have used there. My favorite body, though, I do really like this body a lot. I'm not sure about this fixture here, though. That doesn't seem to fit very well with the body shape. I know you were probably trying to fit this in here because it's like a tapered sort of angle there, and it didn't work for you. What you probably then would have been better off doing is using cutaways, like patchwork stuff, and then making something from scratch instead, as opposed to trying to make a standard fixture fit in there. The front, very flat, very two-dimensional. I feel it's not as well designed as it could have been. Also, are these... No, that's just a graphical glitch where it looks like this is on top of the glass. Some cool designs in there. Let's have a look. Very wacky wheels. We have single piston, very big, vented and slotted brakes on pushrod suspension. So when you said this is a sporty K car, what you mean is a race K car. It's also all-wheel drive by the looks of it. Yes, we have rear drive, single piston vented rear brakes. This is very 90s, this song. Oh my god. Pushrod again. Got ourselves some turbos on here. I mean, you have shortcuts, but this car would cost like incredibly large amounts of money anyway. So why even bother having cast? I swear to God. Why is there carbon fiber everywhere? Jesus. Is that a 6? Hold on. Nope, that's a 4-cylinder. Okay. Is that 5 valves per cylinder? Yeah, okay, you've gone 5 valves per cylinder. This is an all-over-the-place sort of vehicle. You've made so many questionable choices. It does have catalytic converters, so this is meant to be the road version. Why is there writing in here? YouTube... Okay. Nice self-plug there. If anybody can read that, you can stop here, you can have a look at that, and thank this person. I believe that's meant to be YouTube... I believe that's meant to be a dot there? Can't tell. I believe this is meant to be a shortened link. YouTube.be /0-YBDTOX_ZU, I think. And then stay classy. Well done. Nice self-promo there. I'm not gonna stop people from self-promoting themselves. That's pretty cool. I like that. Because you know that I look in there, so well done. I salute you for that one. You know what? I salute you so much indeed that I'm going to look up that link right now on stream for everybody. Give you a little bit of extra plug there. I think that's cool. I won't do this in the future because this, I hate transcribing. youtube.be / Is that meant to be an O or a 0? I can't tell. I think it's meant to be an O because there's no line in it. Wait, no. That would be an 8 then. I don't know. Dash YBD T. Is that meant to be a Q? Right. X_ZU. Can't be found? Okay, that might be a 0 there. Okay, does it have to have the HTTPS at the front? HTTPS... No. YBD TQ X_ZU. Maybe there's no .be. Oops. Oh, hold on. I think I saw the error then. I was missing a U. Is that the end of this playlist? Yep, cool. Next page. This video isn't available anymore. Sorry, bro. Doesn't look like the link is working. Well, it might have an accent, I'm not sure. Is it all caps? Caps don't usually actually matter. Also, let's have a look at the back here. This is very flat, and also, you've unfortunately used the inverted diffuser, which looks bad in my opinion. The exhaust's interesting, but everything look at that. There's no real dimensionality to the back here. It looks way too flat. Let's have a look at the interior. Ah, much more detail in here. Now playing Betamax Primo the Alien Watch Me. I don't know what that is. Anyway. I think they've misunderstood how these pedals work. Those pedals are meant to be either mounted on the floor with the pedals coming upwards, or they're meant to be mounted on the back with the pedals coming straight down. Not on the bottom, coming up, and then you're pushing down on the pedals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not how that's meant to be. If you find an example of that, that's fine. Keep it to yourself, I don't care. What? I just brushed over my last statement. That is interesting. Probably not how I would have done it, but okay. Awaiting co-driver. Interesting. Lots of interesting things going into this. Pretty cool. All right. Phil just dodged a bullet with that one. With what one? Cool and weird at the same time? I agree. Heads-up display? Yeah, but it's hologram. There was no screen there or anything. There have been people that have done HUD sort of things, but there's been screens there. While the car is so futuristic, it has holographic speedometer. Yeah, I know, right? Let's go in, and we're going to take this one around first. What is the name of this car? It is the Matino. No, wrong one. The Matino by Exige. 1985. I don't think we've seen something by Exige for a very long time as well, so thank you for coming back. 30,000, 1985. This wagon is expected to be quiet, dependable, and reliable. Okay, that is a mid-market sort of price, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some more expensive stuff on there. I don't think there was really anything about the location of where it's from, but I'm gonna guess it might be European or Japanese. Since we don't have a Japanese map, we're gonna take it to a European place. Yeah, let's start in the city. Can you refer to my car? It's called the AMC Also, a Swordfish GT. Is it... Did I miss something this week? I don't think I missed anything. AMC. No, there was no car this week called the AMC, unfortunately. Let's try Colette. No. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately, not in this week. I sort by top... Wait, what the hell? This week. I must have refreshed at some point. AMC. No? No. Alright. Yep. No, unfortunately, you didn't submit it. Or if you did something wrong. Note for future, use a case-sensitive font for Rickrolls. Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Oh, the sound. That is loud. Have I got the volume turned up correctly? Yep, that is the right volume. Do I turn the music down, or do you guys just get the idea? Way to show something new screen? I don't know. That is too noisy for a road car. It also doesn't sound like a Boxer 4-cylinder, was it? I can't remember. Hold on, what was the engine? Oh, that's right, it was a V6. That is a brutal sound. Let's go to, like, cruising speed. Okay, watch out under braking. That's fine. Wheels probably could have actually still been narrower. Damn it. I'm trying to get up to cruising speed, but we can't do that here. Where is a highway around here? Where is the highway on this map? It's all the way around here, right? God damn it. Here we go. Okay, the highway. Diesel? With that red line? I doubt that this is a diesel, no. It actually... I mean, it could be a V6 sound, but it could also be like a V8 sound. It does sound like very muscle car-like. I'm actually going too fast for a cruising speed. Hey, there we go. So your cruising RPM is about 2,700 RPM. That's a bit high for a high-powered vehicle. You probably have a longer gear ratio, potentially. It's also that drone. This, as a cruising car, like going to work or whatnot, would be a real pain in the butt. That would become annoyingly loud. Sounds like a diesel? Oh, not in my opinion. Alright, let's find a turn-off and see what this thing does in any sort of normal driving environment, not highway cruising. Oh, this is narrow. Narrow. Oh, this thing feels a bit, like, unsettled, which is weird. That is way too loud for a car that is this slow. I love it, but it just don't work. A little bit of washout on braking, under braking, not too bad. Okay. I get the feel for it. Brakes don't feel overly powerful, but then again, no. If you didn't have ABS, cars' brakes do just lock up, so I don't know. Are they unbalanced brakes still? Like very unbalanced brakes? Yeah, I feel that the brakes might be very unbalanced. Yeah, your first gear could have been longer, and your tires could have been narrower. Your tires... You know, actually, they're already really narrow. Why does this thing not break traction? Hold on. Let's get it to a flat bed of ground. Yeah, that'll do enough. Oh, it's front-wheel drive! Oh, for some reason I thought this was rear-wheel drive. My bad. Okay. Now I'm understanding why this thing doesn't feel right. Because it looked like a rear-wheel drive, but driving like a front-wheel drive. Fair enough. All right, yep, okay, now it's making a lot more sense. I can't power out of a corner. Good, okay. Now then, probably could hide it in the JVM files. Hide what? All right, pretty decent car. I'm assuming they're going to want a review. This is not a very sporty feeling vehicle. It doesn't feel chuckable, like what you would want to be as want to have a sports car to be, but it also doesn't feel what the word be? Doesn't feel like it has enough a good enough balance. Also, because like it feels understeery. Like to the corner when you want to get like on the power, you're gonna have to be going really slow mid-corner. And that's not what a sports car is about. Even if it's slower, you want to feel like you're a good driver, even if maybe you're not. Okay. High speed stability, a lot better. But like mid-speed to low speed, especially low speed, feels like they're understeering. Maybe if I was to be controlling this manually with a gear shifter in my setup, it might be a little bit better. I don't know, just something about it feels numb, which is actually quite common. They'll try to make cars, but then accidentally make them just a little bit numb. Damn! Shit got boned in that. Whoa! Hefty hit. Alright. I think it's time to give this one a full score. 2 longitudinal front-wheel drives in one stream? That is rare. That is quite rare, yeah. Especially to have a longitudinal V6 front-wheel drive. So a lot rarer indeed. Stream scoring. Styling. I like it, but it's no supercar. We're going to try to keep it within category at least a little bit. And we're going to give this one like... I'm thinking a 5 out of 10? No, 6 out of 10. It feels a little bit sporty, and it does, the looks do seem to have appreciated, I believe, over time. We will give it some more je ne sais quoi score to make up for the fact that I think this actually looks pretty good. For an automation car, that is. So we'll give that a 6 out of 10. Acceleration. Felt quite slow, but it wasn't the worst thing. 6. Handling. 7, it was kind of okay. It's just that understeery sometimes, and it feels a little bit numb. But that comes out of fun factor, so we'll get that like a 6. Because it's manual at least, and not slow. So that's alright. Cool factor. I'm assuming there's, like, people are going to think that it's really cool for the sound, but nobody else is going to think that it's cool for any other reason. It just looks a bit blasé, to be honest. Trackability, I'm assuming. Let's have a look at those brake... Let's have a look at those brakes. Were they vented? Yes. Not the biggest brakes, but that is accurate. To not have them fully big like automation says they can be. Trackability. Maybe like a 7. Like its ability to not die on a track would be probably not too bad. Features. I'm assuming not great for a, what, 80s or 90s sort of car? We have air conditioning and a cassette player. And maybe cruise control. So we'll give that like a 3. Comfort. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, it has front headlight washers. So the features I feel do deserve to be better than a 2 or a 1. Comfort. The loud. Very loud. Seats look fairly comfortable. Your space seems pretty decent. Yeah. I can give this one like maybe a 7. Depends. If this is like a... No. That sound is going to become a real pain. I've driven a car with a drone before. It is so annoying. Give me a second. Alright. Quality. What was the price of this thing again? 30,000. That's gonna be fairly pricey. I wish I knew which country it was from. Here we go. Is that Italian? That puts it below other large European competitors in size at the same price. 30,000. Customized engine. Oh, okay. Upgraded tires and suspension. New sounds and altered info file. No major mesh adjustment needed to be made. Okay then. If it's European, it's going to feel good, but it's probably going to be like trash quality and not last very long. Especially considering the year of the car is 1985. You know, that's just before cars started to become like really cheap and nasty. So we'll give that like maybe a 7. But then that engine doesn't look like it would be particularly reliable. We'll give that a 6. Practicality. I mean, it's only a 2-door. No, it's a 4-door. And it's a wagon. So it's going to be quite practical. Not overly big, so it'll also be easy to park. So, I mean, it's no SUV, it's not 7-seat or more, that sort of thing. So it's very practical, but not like that last little push to be like super practical. Value. I mean, it's a bit expensive, so the value can't be great, but they're going to be used, but European parts are not always the most cheap. So value will give it like a 4. The ongoing costs. The fuel usage of an 80s car, not particularly great. This is electronic at least though, right? Yep, electronic fuel injection. Not going to be the most reliable, but it'll do okay. Give it like a 6. I don't know how much the fuel usage is, or how much fuel usage it has. Daewoo Asparo taillights looks like a Nissan 240Z SX. Not in my opinion. It's Italian? Oh, okay. Quality. 4. J-beam editing. I mean, it has some J-beam editing. Some minor stuff. We'll give that like a 3, I suppose. Would I buy it? I did like the sound, but no, not really. The je ne sais quoi. There is quite a bit of je ne sais quoi. We'll give that a 7. Realism. Seven. I don't like that engine choice. It just doesn't... So, realism... Is commonality actually a word? Commonality, okay. Will it fit in here? Ugh. You know what? That'll do good enough. You get the idea. Alright, I just needed to clarify that one. A final fill score of 87. Not bad, especially for an older car. You did pretty darn well. Phil, she's Italian. Quality -2. Yeah, about right. Italia? My brain work. Is a beautiful country I would visit, but I have no idea how their language works. I have tried. Italy is basically English, but all of the words are different. So, like, same sentence structure, same letters, very similar sounds. I grew up with Italians next to us. They taught me a little bit of Italian, but I really don't remember it because I was a very young kid. Played the accordion too. Really cool. Get rid of 1 point and you get the best summer. Oh, best number, sorry. Alright. 87. Pretty cool. Well done. Oh, if I hit Control Z now, it's going to remove my change I just made. Alright. Hopefully. I hit Control Z. Good, I won't change anything now. Good, okay. Next car. Hey, okay. What map do you want this on? Let's have a quick look. Do they have a map for this? Because otherwise I could do like a hill climb here, because it looks like a hill climb sort of car. 1991 GTR Corsa. Italian car maker. Oh, it's an Italian small SUV. Weird. Front of the line of a lightweight turbo track monsters made following year, race-ready version followed regulations. What regulations are? Flat plane 2-liter twin turbo V8. I don't know if there ever was a V8 turbo engine. Was there? Back in the day? I think they're all V6s basically. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Anyway, which cranked out 500 horsepower. Okay. If this is 1990s, they would have had the latest F1 turbo engines. And those turbo engines were pumping out for race trim, I think about like 800-900 horsepower, but the qualifying versions were ranging around the 1500 horsepower mark. You want to download this car? You can go download it if you want. I forgot your comment. There was fog in my hometown, you know. It was so foggy, Okay. Want to drive it up Pikes Peak. Ugh. That seems like such a hassle. Anyway, it never entered any races due to financial issues, but often shows on long track meets. Track meets! Okay, we'll take it to a track then. I don't think there's a track here, really. So we'll take it to somewhere else. We'll just take it to America for a track meet. Maybe Hirochi? Oh, you know what? We actually do have Monaco and almost Monza, not really. Spa-Francorchamps. Yeah, we'll take it to we'll take it to Spa-Francorchamps. '90s F1 engines are NA though. I know, what I was saying is they would have gotten the last generation of turbo engines from, what was it, like 1986 or something like that? But yeah. Remember what we said about saying things that are off topic? Yeah. Control E, let's bring out the GTR Corsa. Oh, quite fast. Not bad for only 500 horsepower. It's got a whiff of understeer about it. I might have to figure out what that is. Maybe it's the brakes? You need stiffer sway bars. Considerably stiffer sway bars. This thing wobbles way too much. Okay, well, I might be able to do that corner a little bit better, but it's going to struggle. Is this all-wheel drive? Yeah, feels like it. That wing is really big and in the way. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, coming up to the first chicane. Oh, I suppose it's really a second chicane, right? All right, not too bad. It's just like really super slow corners. You're gonna get understeer. And this thing feels like it really wants to oversteer as well, which is not fantastic. I feel like this has more than 500 horsepower though. Kept on thinking that I was ready to exit the corner, but apparently I wasn't. Powering out causes understeer, which is to be expected! Yikes. The mighty table. This isn't really a table. It's not really the right shape for a table. So, I get what you're going for there. You're saying like it's a big thing. Oh dear. You see the body shake just then? Oh no. Oh dear, alright. This is very fast. It could do with a little less rear aero, or does then it become unstable? You know what? Control W, tuning, rear wing. I'm trying to figure out what's peculiar about the feeling of this car. Alright, that was tricky just then. Still not out of control, so that's good. Can we go through Blanchimont at full speed? Oh, I stuffed up. That was my bad. Let's try that again. This is also sequential, which would have existed back then. All right. Let's try that again. You have to be very smooth if you reduce rear aero. Blanchiment, full speed. No, still understeer. Ah, it's unfortunate. Probably could have taken that a little bit better. Oopsie daisies, I got it unsettled just before braking. Oh dear. That was... Did I brake? Wait, oh, there we go, understeer. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to actually sit down and spend time on this to tune this thing to perfection. But then again, this never actually being on the racetrack actually fits in pretty well with not being perfect. And I do like the exterior fans on the rear and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty darn cool. Can we get through Blanchiment now without that understeer? I turned across too late. Still probably wouldn't have been enough though. Alright, Control W. Even more off the rear. Go a few more corners, then we'll see how it goes. Not too much more unstable, that's fine. Bringing it up now to the chicane. Braking. Oh, our braking is severely affected. I didn't think about the brake balance changing. That was my bad. You know what, actually, hold on. Control W. Let's turn the rear wing back up and turn rear camber down. Wait, shit, I can never remember this. God damn it, I think that's the way. I just want less traction on, like, mechanical grip on the rear. Oh dear. You know what? I think that's changed our geometry. Okay, this is a race car, so it's only going to get a simplified fill score. I do like a lot about this car, but there's also a lot to question about it. I like the looks. I feel that there maybe should have been more than just the round taillights, unless the entire car was a concept. Unless this is American, but I feel it should have had something more there. I like the front dual wing sort of look. That probably would have been at more of an angle, though. The engine I don't agree with. Oh, that's right. It's not mid-engine. I've been driving this thing like a mid-engine car. So that might also be the difference there. You could have JBM'd the engine nodes back. I've done videos on how to move nodes around if that's what you wanted to do. Good riddance? What's this? You're gonna leave the bloody stream? Oh, okay. Well, see you later, B-set. $1988, but close. Is that when the engine ended? Okay. Oh, the turbo engines ended. BeamNG 2.5 coming on the 31st of May. Oh, interesting. And welcome, that name I don't know how to pronounce. Welcome back to the stream. I haven't seen you around in a while. Bishu covered color boy. Oh, lol. Sorry, I thought that said boy there for a second. My brain no good. My brain don't work good. Go drag the Civet Bollard GTI. Drag it? What? Anyway, that is this car. Next one, the 1500E. What map should we take this to? Oh, it's not actually on the list. What the hell? Oh, they gave it a different name. Okay. This one is by... God, this name. Mazunga Nunga Nunga Zugu. Said it perfectly, didn't I? Very, very cheap car. $12,500. Phenomenally cheap. The series of small a European market introduced in the 1950s. I feel that we should take this one back to Italy. Marty, we've got to go back! Let's take this to Crossroads. Very Italian-sounding song to me. Or maybe Russian even? I don't know. One of those ones. So, very fitting for this map. There we go. Thank you. I had this loaded like minutes ago. BeamNG, honestly. Devs. Optimization. One word. That's it. Optimization. Oh, it's slow. I feel the first gear would have been shorter if it's this slow. Probably like 40 kilometers an hour in first gear. Oh, lock-up's okay. I suppose that's to be expected. It's slow, but it feels nice. The dampeners could have been maybe a little bit stiffer. Because a lot of European roads, even in the 80s, were still dirt. Oh, got the drift on. Hold on, is this rear-wheel drive? Yes, it is. Good, okay. Solid axle, love it. French? Le baguette? Yeah, but there is no French map. There's only, like, if you forget, every map is American except for Italy map. Wait, hold on. No, for a second there, I thought the wheel was animated. That would have been really cool. Four-man vibing, just a little bit. It was fun. I don't dance very often because I'm very self-conscious and not very good at it. But then again, if you want to know a secret to girls, they also feel very self-conscious and just want somebody to be stupid with them on the dance floor. They may say that you are bad at dancing, but they don't care. They just want somebody there with them that'll take some of the attention or share some of the attention around. So don't say no to dances with girls, even if you hate dancing. If it's dancing with a guy, I don't understand their thought patterns yet. I probably wouldn't date a guy that wanted to dance. I'd be like, wow, you're one of those people? You dance? Oh, that's a big yikes. I do have good vibes. Oh, thanks. I was responding to the song, sorry? What? Ah, the song. Okay. What year is this car? Ooh, hold on. 1969. That's the year it is. Jackson, I'm gay. I know. But do you dance? If you do, ooh, that's big yikes. Have you any idea a can't make a good-looking interiors? Practice. Practice is how you make good interiors. I doubt there was anybody that started off making interiors and automation and straight off the bat got it correct 100% the first time. And if they did, it's because they spent a really long time. But even in amongst them making it, there would have been many iterations of them going, oh, that's not right, and then fixing it all the time. Lots and lots of practice and looking at reference images. I also do talk about interiors a lot at the beginnings of streams, so things like the dashes, filling the dash gap, making sure that the knees aren't being amputated. The rear seats fitting in right or fitting in between the wheel wells. I don't know, this car just feels nice. This might be my favorite so far. Actually, it is my favorite so far. This is just really nice. It just feels really good. Like, it's not really chuckable or anything. It just feels like a really, really nice car. Do you want a fill score? It is not going to be particularly nice because this is a very old car and it's not going to tick many boxes. So it's going to get a poor fill score. Actually, I don't know if the person is in the chat now, is they? Is they? Me brain do work, yes. I feel vindicated for enjoying this car. It is pretty nice. It's like, it's not great. It's not terrible. It does understeer. Maybe could have done with a little bit more rear brake compared to front. But then again, yeah, no, could have done with more rear brake. I do like this. It just feels good. Just nice. I like. But the look of this car, it looks good and it seems to drive good. Yeah. It's not a phenomenal car, just rather good. It could make a good old rally car. Yes, with some suspension tuning. It was a little too bumpy. Let's take it to a bit of an off-road section that's not on a hill. Wait, hold on. Oh, I know this section. I did a rally on this once. Let's go uphill. From about here. F7. Ah! Yeah, suspension too soft for rally. From factory. And also could do with a locked diff. Whether that be like a real mechanical locked diff or just welded. BeamNG not knowing what gear to be in. BeamNG, 2 words. Fix your optimization or do better optimization, and the gear selection should just be completely fixed. Just fix it. There, 2 words. Looks like some sort of daff. It does look a little bit daff. Yeah, you're right. Welcome, Joe Billy Bob, back to the stream. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while, I don't think, or am I getting confused with somebody else? I'm trying and failing at a modern rally car right now. Oh, okay. Soft spring hard dampeners. I love how this thing, when it goes over bounces whilst counter steering, it causes the steering to turn. That's really awesome. I love that. Good. Nice. Oh dear. Sorry. Yawnage just then. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ah! Well, we got the rear turned around like what we wanted. It's maybe not the most optimal way of turning around. Sorry, the most efficient way, I mean. Time efficient for sure. Stuff that up, and BeamNG doesn't know what gear to be in, that's fine. And across the line. 9 out of 10, I love it. There's a lot here, but there's no J-deeming, so I can't give it a perfect 10. If it was to get a Phil score, it'd probably be somewhere in the 70s. Probably lower 70s. Hey Phil, I updated to the beta branch, and they revamped my favorite BMW style body, losing some features like bumpers sticking out further than the trunk. I don't know, maybe add a bumper on to the end of the bumper. I'm not sure. Pro gamer move? Yeah, I agree there, Alberto. Indeed, they are very tricky. I don't know what you mean there. No, I'm not aiming for full realism using the Hyundai i20 rally car as a reference. Oh, yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah, I've seen pictures of that go up in the Discord. But remember, on dirt, turn left to turn right. Yeah, sure, okay. Crownless, hey, it works, it works. Hey, if it works, it works, yeah. Sure. But did I reset the car? No. There is quite the dent there now. It'll work, but only for an amount of time before you have to, like, do more work to make sure it keeps working. Can you tell me a random body shape, and old or new? Oh, you want me to give you some art through adversity, so giving you some choice on making up the choice for you. 50s big coupe. Not a sports car, but like a big coupe. Imagine like the old Mercedes 300, I think it was an SL or something like that. Imagine that, but 2-door. Like big luxury, for some reason, a 2-door. Using the environment, like, yeah, alright. Well, no, not SL. Clarkson. Clarkson's old Mercedes. What was that? Yeah. Whatever model of Mercedes this is. Do that, and if you can, in 2-door. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see, like, something stupid like that. Using the environment, your advantage is key in rallying. Nice. True, I'm very good at falling off cliffs and hitting rocks. How's the weather where you are? For me right now, it's been 6 days since it started to rain. There has been a lot of rain here recently, and it's been very cold. What's the temperature right now? The Dictator's car, yeah. I think I did a fun video on a Dictator car a while ago. It's about 12 degrees and raining with 89% humidity. So yeah, lots of rain. Alright, yeah, I love this car. Let's move on to the next one. Oh dear God. Alright, we got an American car. We should take this to an American map. Do we go Utah? I really don't know enough about America to say that it's like East or West Coast. Or Central as like a more popular area for it. I mean, even Small Island USA could potentially be like a, like the Mustangs that were left everywhere on bases around the world. I think maybe we'll take it to West Coast. Because there we have highway, streets, and a racetrack. And some, hill roads. Utah is a good map, good for cruising and rallying. Yeah. I'm hoping it's not sunny tomorrow, having a laser pointed at my face and turned on repeatedly. Are you talking about having laser hair removal or laser eye surgery? My partner got laser hair removal. And yeah, they've talked about that a lot. Nice power oversteer with good control. Good. Ah! Ah! It feels like this thing doesn't have as much torque as what I would like. Ah! Damn it. I was hoping to go in there faster and not hit the curb, but I ended up going in slower and hitting the curb. Itchy ear. Alright. You know what? We'll just assume that this thing is good at, Woo! Well, that's quite the jump. Ah! It feels very American. It feels heavy and slow. But I didn't think this car was heavy and slow. I thought this car was actually, very advanced. Even though it, like, runs a lumpy old engine. The Corvettes have always been, like, considered to be a fairly new sort of thing. You know what, let's take it to the more technical handling track and just punish ourselves more with this car. Not bad, or? Little bit of a rear step out. Nah. Ah, it's good. Well balanced here, yes. Okay. A little bit of a step out, nice and balanced. Somehow the gearing is really short, but yet feels really long. I don't understand how they've managed that. Like, we're shifting to second gear really early. And we're not even going 100 in second gear, but yet it feels really slow. Well, this is a Corvette, not a Charger. I know. I didn't say a Charger, did I? These Corvettes had the weird crossfire fuel injection that made them pretty bad until the ZR1 came along. Oh, okay. That's a low red line? Eh, not really. It's an old pushrod V8. That's about what you'd expect the red line to be. Alright. And let's power it down the back straight now and see what we can do. 150. If it doesn't go over 200, I'll be very disappointed. It should easily do that. It's not doing well. Wait. It's only a 4-speed, and it's maxing out at the same top speed as what my 1983 Volvo had? That's not good. Ah! Bad brakes. Bad brakes. Bad brakes. I say that because your Dukes of Hazzard thing there. Oh, okay. I understand your reference now. A Dukes of Hazzard crash does. Nah, a little bit too much around just then. I feel that was only partially my fault, but also the car. But then again, I don't know how these cars handle. I've never been in one. I've seen like 2 in my lifetime. Damn it. Oh, no, that's not where I wanted to be. I wanted to try the corkscrew again and get sideways through it. Oh, look at that. No, all right, we don't have that. Turn on beams. Yeah, the beam visualization for the aerial. That is weird that automation does that. All right, let's try and get this right. A little bit of a slingshot back and forth. No, okay. If you touch that handbrake at all, which it needs almost, it tends to go too far. Yeah, but it doesn't do it without. Damn it. All right, we're gonna go full Scandinavian flick or inertia initialization. Damn it. It just... Shit. All right. There we go. And too far. Maybe it's the geometry of the map. Let's just try driving through here like a sensible person. I think it's fairly common knowledge, though, that the Corvettes are not particularly drift cars. They are meant to be high-end sports race cars almost. Because out of American cars, most of the time, the top-end American cars that you would see out of the major manufacturers were Corvettes, winning a lot of the races. Until the Dodge Viper came along, but even then, the Corvette was still doing really, really well. I like this car a lot. I don't know, does it get a fill score because it's a replica? Probably still does, but I don't know. There's no interior, so it's going to be really hard to give it a whole bunch of its fill scores. I think we're just going to give this one a regular fill score and not a full fill score. Because the car's... yeah, interesting. You know what I would have loved to have seen? Though it probably would have been really super hard to do. Would have been 3D text. I now have an idea. I might make a mod for 3D text. So let's I'll quickly show you what I would do. Delete, add. Oh, I don't remember how to do it as a text. But just do a T for now. Oh, no. Tab out of that. How do we do this? Do we right-click? Mark as asset view area? No, was it a here? Add modify. Whatever. Let's remove that. Add mesh plane. Let's go in here. E, Y, E, X, E, X, G, Y, E, S, G, Y. It'd be something like this. Oh wait, no, hold on. No, I wouldn't do that. Hold on. Yeah, we'll do that. Edges. Now we'll grab this. E, S, G, Y, G, Y. Then subdivide surface. And corners. Is that not going to do it? I was not going to keep all. But yeah, there you get the kind of idea of what we would do for this. I just wanted to have this here so that I know what I'm going to be doing when I'm done. Increase. There we go. So yeah, I'd have indented text like that. I just wanted to have that there so I can remember when we're done. Why are your videos widescreen so ugly? Am I... Does this letterbox me still? It shouldn't be letterboxing me anymore. What did you turn into? I just was doing a little bit of messing about there. All right, this car. There was 3 versions of it, but as I say, only submit 1 car at a time per post, please. There's no interior. It's not as satisfying to drive as what I would like, but it still does feel, I suppose, realistic, I'm guessing. It looks very accurate as well as to what you're trying to create. I would give this maybe... 7.5 out of 10? Those mirrors don't look right. I don't know, maybe they are right. I feel there's some missing detail here that could have been in. Like the interior. I'm not sure about these hood details you got there. They don't look accurate with their like weird meshing issue that they have. Impromptu modeling tutorial? A little bit. Alright. Next car is, the BMW. Well, we have it on a track. Apparently this is a hybrid? Engine, car engine. Electric hybrid motor. Interesting. Is that, I don't see any representation for a hybrid motor. Let's go in UI apps and have a look for power. There we go, powertrain visualization. Okay. That is actually really hard to see. Hey! They've got a, like it's actually a front drive and rear drive. So this is the common way of doing it. This actually is a functional EV. Okay, let's go ahead. Turn that off. They haven't gone for like the highly technical version which runs it both through the same wheels. But that's really hard to do. Perhaps why this car is so odd. Oh, that sounds nice. Understeer, understeer, understeer. Oh god. It's a lot of understeer. There it's okay at mid-corner speeds where it's nice and wide on the exit. Doesn't want to turn in, but okay. There it does okay. I want to make sure that the front wheels are actually working because a lot of the time this stuff cannot work. So I'm just going to vet their work. Good. It actually does work. Tries hybrid? Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind it. A lot of cars do have the separated driving in the front and rear wheels. Not usually on more normal sorts of cars, but it does happen. So the NSX has that, I believe. I'm pretty sure that does. Who else does that? I know there's more. Our brain just isn't working right now. Pretty sure one of the Ferraris and at least one Porsche did. I can't remember. But there was another one. And I'm drawing a blank on who it was. I just can't remember. Ah! Whoops. Anyway, I do love the sound. What is the sound? That is a 4-cylinder. Oh, you know what? Got stability control on. Let's turn that off. Or understeer, okay. Oh. Those front brakes. Let's have a look at the brakes that we got here. We have 6 pistons on the front and 4 pistons on the rear. I still feel that we could remove a lot of rear... Oh, sorry, front brake force. Or add more rear. So let's add 16%, remove 15%. Alright. Or 14%. try that again and see how this thing now washes out. It's the sound from the Vivas? Ah, okay. That sounds pretty good. This car is more fun to drive for me without the front end. I feel that probably this thing would be better without being all-wheel drive. Oh, yeah, no, race cars will generally have a separation for, like, Le Mans. Maybe there's too much inertia on the front engine, but that thing just felt like it was washing bad. Oh, so much understeer. Let's, oh, okay, that wasn't the right place to spawn. Let's go here. And tuning. I don't want to play with camber because I can never remember which way it is, and it's with fierce and strut, so I can't change the camber on the front anyway. But let's change a little bit of less toe in and a little bit more toe out in the rear. And see if that helps. And it's a DCT, so I have no clutch control. Fair enough. Feeling a little less understeery now. Still not the greatest car. Lots of that understeer. If you get it turned in, this thing really does power out of the corners though. But it just chugs with so much understeer. You know what? I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to reset everything and I'm going to remove... Oops. That was the wrong thing. Vehicle config, tuning, reset, apply, parts, engine. Get rid of the hybrid motor. Alright. Oh, it's so much slower without it. Oh, goodness gracious. Now I know why it has the hybrid motor. I think the hybrid motor might have been too powerful. Because this this petrol motor is pretty gutless. Oh dear. So, if you have too much power going through the front, it's generally going to, unless you tune it out, understeer quite a bit. I was going slower than what I expected, so I braked too much. Because now it's so much slower. Yeah, I feel there's less understeer sometimes, but the brakes are back to being bad and unbalanced. Nah, actually that was okay. Might usually be because it's slower, who knows? Nah, it still suffers from massive amounts of understeer. Okay. I'm assuming they're going to want a full fill score for this. This car is more fun to drive without the front end. Yeah, oh yeah. That electric is pulling the weight here? What? Anyway, let's go ahead and do the fill score. Styling. You know what? We'll give it a higher score, then we'll take away from the je ne sais quoi. We'll give that maybe a 7. It looks pretty good, except for the fact that it's not really executed very well. It's a little bit too flat on the front. Actually, it's very too flat on the front. The rear is okay. This almost works, but not quite. It looks fairly aggressive and fairly decent. The wheels also mostly match the car. So leave that at a 7. Its acceleration is actually okay. Maybe a 7 with the electric motor. Who knows? Handling, like a 4. It's very unsatisfying. Fun factor, 3. It's not very fun at all. Cool factor, kind of. There's a lot of people not liking hybrids. I don't know why, but that's the thing. Trackability. Not really. Features. I mean, it's a sports version, so it's not going to have the highest end features, but it looks like it has everything you might want there. What is the price of said car? It is the Livingston Hybrid. There we go. $58,000. So it's not the highest price. So the features will probably be somewhere around like a 7. It'll be really good, but not like top tier. Comfort. It's quite loud, so that's not going to be very comfortable. The seats are relatively thin, and the fact that You do have to have your legs removed, which, I mean, is going to be uncomfortable in the short term, but eventually you'll get used to it. But I'm going to say that that's a pretty big comfort compromise. Same for your children in the rear. They're going to have their legs amputated as well, which is unfortunate. You do want your children to have the biggest leg up in life. They'll be a step ahead of the rest. Welcome, Dr. Eurobeat. How's it going? Can you do a video on styling? I think I've done a whole bunch of in-depth stuff. You can have a look through my back catalog if you want. A small price to pay for hybrid. Trademark amputee seats. Trademarked amputee seats, yeah. Let's go in. Comfort. I'm gonna give that like a 3. It's not great. Quality. I mean, it's probably German, so the quality is gonna feel good, but not actually be good. It's also got new hybrid stuff. The batteries are probably gonna wear out because being German, once again, they're not gonna be very high quality, and they're gonna like know that you want the car for what it is compared to how good it is. So I'm gonna give a 4 for that because they're not gonna give you a very good car. And they'll just say, oh, you're an early adopter. That's the price you pay. Practicality. I mean, there is no easy wheelchair storage. And if you're in the driver's seat, you're going to have somebody putting the wheelchair in the boot for you. Not the most practical. It's also only a 2-door, really only a 2-seater here, not fitting 3 people on the back there. Maybe toddlers. That'd be about it. While they still have their kneecaps. And the boot's okay. So we're going to give the practicality like a 3. It's not particularly great. Value. What is the price of this? $58,000. That's a pretty decent price for a hybrid sports car. Even if it's not a very good one, we'll give that like a 5. It's middle of the road. What was it again? 58. But then again, German, you are going to be spending a lot more than that, so that'll go into ongoing cost. So you're going to save a lot of money with having a hybrid system, but being, once again, like based off of the BMW, you're going to have to replace a lot of things very often. So the ongoing costs are going to be somewhere around a 3. J-Beam editing, we'll give that like a 6. They did quite a bit of work to get that to that point. Would I buy it? No, I wouldn't. The je ne sais quoi fact. Actually, you know what? Oh, shoot. No. Would I buy it? Give that like a 4. I would, but I'll probably never be able to afford it. The je ne sais quoi. We'll get that like a 2. A 1. Realism and commonality. Apart from the fact that the hybrid system is going through the front wheels, that is quite rare for a car like this. We'll give that like a 6. It's fairly common. So, your daily score sucks, but it's still 72, which is not a bad score. That is pretty middle of the road. Hi Phil, this is the first time I've seen... Oh, sorry, I've watched you on YouTube. Ah, welcome, Pruny, YT. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. But yeah. I'm already excited to watch the replay. Alright. Oh yeah, your car. I do remember that one. Was it this one? Yeah, is this one that right? Great car, bro. Love it. Alright, let's undo this. And go to the next vehicle. Which is... Mini Lap Purple Wonder. Do I have clutch kickers enabled? I don't think so. Alright, let's go to mods. Clutch kickers is disabled. Okay. Let's go to clutch kickers because that's what they suggested. They said also keep it in second gear. So that's what I shall do. And this is probably also going to suck because I can never drift Ekai Min's cars that well. Like, also, for BeamNG, I find the clutch kickers map not great. I find I'm much better at drifting on well, the automation test track even. Alright, the Mini-Laugh Purple Wonder. That sounds like a very powerful engine for such an old year. It probably also would have had mechanical fuel injection. Okay, well apparently we're not getting back up on the curb. My god, okay, yeah, no, we've broken some steering. Oh, you could just drive through this? No? Have I made a boo-boo? Okay, weird things happen, then I'm not sure. Alright, manual selection. What? Second gear, please. Oh god. That steering angle though, bro. That is insane. Oh my god. Oh god. I feel this vehicle... Not how I intended this vehicle to be run. Oh god. It doesn't have the traction. And it like hangs on every curb. Whoa. Damn it. Ah, damn it. I was expecting more of an inertia drift. This is hard to drive. I'm having to go full sweat mode. Especially keeping it in second gear. Damn it. I stuffed up, got to understeer. That's going to brutalize itself? No? Okay. What is up with... Something just doesn't quite feel right here. I can't put my finger on it. Might have something to do with the steering angle, which is absolutely insane. It just doesn't have the traction. God damn it. It just doesn't have the traction. It just keeps going wide. Oh, God. It turned the steering. It turned the wheels around. Oh, dear God. Okay. Go into reverse for me, please. Why does this thing not want to go back up on curves? What has he done? Ah! Okay. I think we're done. Is that guy even here? I don't think they are. Drifting is hard on controller too? Yeah. Did you review the Golf hatchback thing or are you saving it for last? It's in order of what I had it, the intro thing have. I would save it for the last, to be honest. Nah, we could do it in order. Too much horsepower, I guess, for this vehicle. No, not really. You do have to have a lot of horsepower to drift in BeamNG, I find. Yeah, look at that steering angle. That is like 160-ish degrees of steering angle. That is crazy. Now, yes, they do that for drift cars. You just don't expect to see it on anything that doesn't look like a drift car. That is massive amounts of angle. They also do things like removing angle kit on a 50s transporter. Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember where I was going with that. Anyway. Ah, yes. This one. The Nakazato Tokachi GT Targa. I love the look of this car. And since this looks like a very concept-y sort of car, I'm going to take it to the automation test track. Because that's where it would have probably spent some of its time. Like that sort of place. Is this? It's not loading in. Great. Hit recognition, please, devs. Drift Wonder? Haha, nice. Think he missed it. Wait, did I really? Oh, I did miss it! I'm sorry! Oh, dear God. Okay. How did I miss this? What did I do? You know what? I got out of a red car and probably saw a red car and went next car. That was my bad. This was supposed to be a production car, but you do you. Okay, here we go. The Volkswagen. If anybody wants a refresh on this, there is a lot of detail here. Like, so much detail. Look at all of these fixtures just to get the shape and everything that they wanted to be exact. They've even done stuff that's hidden that you can't see. I don't know why, but they've done it anyway. Like, this looks entirely custom parts as well. Like, so much is in here as well. They've also done that trick that I showed that one time, except they've done it much more detailed, is they haven't used the default light fixture. What they've done is they've created like the metal lip and then the headlight, not like light into plastic into bodywork, which is not usually how headlights actually are. And then they've like created their own inner fenders. They've created their own custom engine with side draft, intake, and exhaust manifold, which is the sort of thing that they would have. I love it. So much custom work here. And this is just the engine bay. This is also a front-wheel drive custom suspension by the looks of it. Maybe I should do a video on how I do custom suspension for with a little bit of Blender editing. Yeah, so much is here. Like just this corner. Look at all of that. They wanted something very exact, so they made the shape they wanted. Then the interior, so much detail in here. Look at that, custom moving steering wheel. They got help from Groundhog to make things like the clockwork, as well as the steering. I'm assuming they did the steering. Do we have, yes, a working gauge, and I've also noticed we have pedals. Except the throttle is going the wrong way. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. This car's now getting a 3 out of 10. The pedal is going the wrong way. That is unfortunate. Let me go in there and show you guys. What the hell's happening to this song? Anyway. Oh, wait, no. You're right. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? Oh, that's the brake. Oh, okay. The brake is doing weird things because BeamNG. Okay, I see it now. My bad. Ah. That was my bad. Okay. Okay, they are all correct. That is lots of detail you've done there. Damn it! I tried to catch you out on something, but I was wrong. Damn it, damn it, damn it. The windows wind up and down? Gear stick also works? Yeah, I noticed the gear stick. The windows go up and... do I have to do the custom bindings? I'll just take your word for it. There's seems to be no door animation. Damn it. I thought I had one up on you finally. Let's go drive. Where's the handbrake? Oh, okay. Let's check the handbrake. I didn't see a foot handbrake, so... Yep, handbrake works as well. Just take your word for it? Okay, yeah. I saw that the gear lever worked. Oh, look at that. You got rear lift on the rear tire. Nice. The rear inside tire lifts. Awesome. So, the thing that matters the most, the handling. Feels a little bit prone to oversteer, but it also feels quite nice. But being front-wheel drive, it will be quite controllable. See how it goes. Yeah, a little bit of understeer, but then the oversteer helps cure that by scrubbing off a whole bunch of speed as well. We'll have to feather the brakes a little bit, but that's very period accurate. Not bad. If anyone of you if anyone do know the real car, the Volvo G... Okay, the Gold GT. Yep. Lights on the dash also work? Oh, nice. Ah! Nice. All right, let's turn this off now, since we're not going to be going particularly fast. Ah! Also, do you want a full fill score? Because I don't think a full fill score is going to do you very much. I would rather just give this one a simplified fill score, because I think that will give a more accurate representation of how good this car is. Oh, Drifter Burrito. Yeah! What? Nice. You know what? Last time, Groundhog did one of these cars for me. They hit a message in the radio. Did they do that this time? No, they didn't. That's unfortunate. All right, let's have a look at the dash lights. Yep, dash lights do work. They seem the right color and they're not glaring white like automation always exports lights to be for some reason. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, I just forgot that the brake lights are always on. Alright. The title of the video confused me. Are we using modified BeamNG cars or automation cars? This is an automation car. They've just done some modifications to the automation car with lots of extra effort. As you can see, there's a lot of extra effort in here. So, like, pretty much everything style is automation here. They've done a lot of work to make this work the way they want it to. And then they called upon the expert that is Groundhog to make this the way they wanted it to actually be. Like moving steering wheel, moving pedals, moving gear shifter. Hey, C1X, welcome. Sure, go with a simple one? Good, okay. Let's try a little bit around here. Cleared it. Nice. Headlights and taillights also give rays unlike the stock automation lights. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see that. I hate the stock automation lights. I think they're horrid. What's your opinion on the sounds? Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty accurate. And it is fairly fun to drive. Sometimes it's not fun, but then other times it is really fun. It's hard to explain, like, if you don't have the car positioned and right before you enter the corner, it's going to punish you with lots of understeer. This is nice. Woo! Yeah. This also feels like the right song for this car as well. Where did you get the sounds from? Is it a stock game sound that you took from BeamNG, or did you get your own from somewhere else, or did you modify a stock sound by playing with the numbers in it? Okay, I'm thinking of giving this the perfect score, 8 out of 10. No, 9.7. It's pretty darn good. I like a lot about this car. There's a few little things. Like I'm noticing... Wait, why does that make me look backwards? That's not right. Why does your indicator come out red? Very weird. Yeah, big cast iron four-cylinder sting high up in the engine bay does not help. Yeah. It's a mix between Cheeria and Covet sounds that I mix playing with the numbers. Okay, good. Knowing IMC, he probably recorded some sounds of his actual car. You sound like my dad. He never gives anything... Yeah, no. I've never given things perfect scores. Because so many times when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, this is perfect. And then something else more perfect would come along. I'm like, my rating system needs to change. That happened when I was really young. So ever since I was really young, like very, very young, I have never given things a perfect score because I always feel that there could be things that are improved. Here, as a recreation, there is not much more you could do to this thing apart from having like opening doors and all that sort of stuff. They're going full BeamNG. Hold on. Fun stuff. Yep, you didn't make the fuel tank real. You could have actually done that. There is a lot of stuff in there to actually make the fuel tank real. And that means that then the fuel tank would have exploded. Unfortunately, my only option is... No, then that's not my option, apparently. Break everything. There you go. And now, God damn it, the car is in pieces. Though it's really hard to tell. We'd have to actually move the vehicle. There you go. Everything that's broken basically just broke. Great! And think in terms of simple fill scores, very few people have gotten 9.7 above. Yeah, 9.7 is quite high. I love it. It's pretty freaking awesome. It's also not the most lively vehicle to drive still. That's right. Now we're going to get onto this car. And we'll take it around the handling track first. I reckon this won't be, like, the fastest car in the world. Wait, no, it was a Boxer twin turbo, wasn't it? Were the early Boxer engines by Subaru twin turbo as well? Is this front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? Rear-wheel drive, okay. Very quiet, very Japanese. Japanese cars, even the sporty ones, were very quiet cars. Ugh. Feels like the front brakes are maybe a little too powerful, maybe, or that was just me going too late into the corner. This thing feels incredibly unstable. Alright, I have to find out. Is this a concept car or not? Where is it? There it is. I feel this car is severely underrated. Italian-style Japanese sports car, specs, 3-liter. Oh, flat 6. That is a very heavy front engine to have. If this is blah 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 for consumption. What am I looking for again? Added cockpit camera, early 90s style Japanese motors, concept car to compete with them. None of the Subarus, blah blah. They wanted something a bit more Italian-inspired to stand out from the Japanese-looking competitors. Taking ideas from Ferrari's Alfa Romeos in the 60s. I do see a little bit of Alfa Romeo, yes. They came up with a design that would draw people's attention. The new car looked incredibly Italian, but with some minor touches to remind people that it's still Japanese, particularly the interior. The car was named that to celebrate the new racetrack, the Speedway, and the car was released in 1993 for the 1994 model year to coincide with the racetrack's grand opening. Okay. Point of order. They made lots of concept cars, but would always massively restrain them for the road. Is this the concept or the road car? It looks a little too fleshed out for it to be the concept car. If this is the concept car, I feel that this thing probably should have been a little bit more stable. And maybe have a little bit more tuck of the wheel underneath the fenders. Like, I can really only think of two cars that are really close to this in era and design. So let's go, like, what was it, 1994? Quite a fair bit of tuck, more on the rear than on the front. And then the Z8. Oops. Oh, whatever, that'll do. You know what? There's not actually a lot of tuck there. That is actually quite flush. I just feel that maybe it should have been a little bit more tucked than what it is for a 90s car. But the Z8 was also much newer. When was the Z8? What, 2003 or something? Think we're out of music. Yep, next page. Oh, 2000. Okay. So not much newer. I need automation and BeamNG, but I'm not ready for it, if you know what I mean. Huh? Not sure what you mean there. This has 280 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. This Japanese got to honor that gentleman's agreement. I feel that this car was too small for that amount of power. And also, a lot of the times they went for more, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I feel the suspension is not tuned right. Might be the word to use. I don't want to be offensive. Because it looks like you put a lot of love into this car. I mean, I've been in the Supra. From the 90s that everyone knows and loves now. Like a couple of times. And they don't handle that bad. Like, they're actually incredibly stable cars. They feel a bit fat and heavy, but they feel incredibly stable. This does not feel stable. And feels, dare I say it, wallowy. Feels American. Oh, god damn. With way too much prone to oversteer. What's the rear suspension again? Semi-trailing arms. There you have it. Alright, semi-trailing arms. In the 90s, pretty dangerous. Like, I would say, out of the ones that I've driven, and out of opinions I've heard, the only cars that I know that have good semi-trailing arm suspension would be from Ford. The Ford Falcon had it. The, what was it? I think, some of the... I think they called them Mondeo or elsewhere, but like, here they just called it the Focus. The Focus, I believe, also sometimes came with the, thing, but they called it Switchblade suspension or something like that. There we go. Damn it! Little too much juice on the power. This is a road car. I should add some artificial tuck. I maxed out the rear tires because they needed it. Ah, okay. Maybe. Let's see how much of a burnout it gets. Maybe, I mean, you could have gone with narrower tires. Oh, they're actually quite narrow already. But yeah, you could have gone potentially with narrower tires. I mean, the Supra didn't have necessarily huge wide tires. Damn it. Is this an open diff? Probably is, right? Dare I say that the Supra handling is a bit on the sluggish side compared to its competitor. I don't know, I've also been in a GTR from an R30... Which one is it? R32. It didn't feel... like... It feels very in control compared to the R32. GTR, all-wheel drive. GTRs were actually quite common here. Also, just the baselines of the cars here in Australia, because there wasn't much to do to get them to work in Australia. So importers would bring them in. For some reason, Japan, Nissan of Japan didn't think that the rest of the world wanted a high-powered sports car. Oops, I think I really bent in that steering just then. Supra tires are about 20mm quarter. Oh, okay. It has an LSD, but automation decided it doesn't work. Okay, fair enough. If it's a viscous, which it better be for this day from Japan, then viscouses aren't great. They have to be also maintained. Do you want a full fill score for this concept car, or a simplified score? I think either score would do fine. What has happened here? This weird cutout happened when I crashed. Oh, no, that's just interior stuff happening. Okay. Full score? Okay, fair enough. Supra is more of a grand tourer than a sports car. Yeah. But they actually do handle nice. They're not bad. They're not the most nippy car in the world. They are not an MX-5. I've been in older RX-7s. Have I been in a... I think I might have been in like a Gen 7 once when I was young. I don't really remember it that well. I've had a Sil 80. Not completely 280 horsepower, but, well, whatever. Well, poop. Alright. I think it's time to give this thing its fill score. Design. This is of that period where, hasn't really aged very well. Also... Oh, your taillights don't light up. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's gonna come off your je ne sais quoi score. Alright, styling. It's pretty darn cool, but it has aged... questionably. So we'll give that, like, I reckon a 7. I do like it, but You know what? I'm going to give it an 8. If we're going my personal taste, I'd probably give it a 9, but it's no supercar. Acceleration. Mediocre. It doesn't feel that fast. Maybe because the suspension is all weird. Handling doesn't feel great. We'll give that a 5. Fun factor. You have to do a lot of work, but I think once you learn it, otherwise not so much. Cool factor. This thing does look pretty cool. I think we'll give that one a 10. Trackability. No. Give that like a 6. Like it's fast, but it doesn't feel good to be on a track with. Features! Because this also, as you said, a road car. Generally, max tire width is 255 for those Halo cars as stock, at least from memory. Generally, at this time, outside the GTR, it was mostly geared. No. Oh, there was a lot of viscous diffs, like the MX-5 came with viscous. It was like the cheap option that did a predictable work, but also not so crazy that it caused people to drift all the time. Also, those Halo cars generally produce upwards of 300... Yeah, they got marked as 276 horsepower. I know what you mean there. Fellas didn't export right, and I don't know how to fix it. Fair enough, okay. Features. I'm assuming, being a 90s car, it's not going to have the most up-to-date features, but let's see at least what we've got here. We have a CD player and air conditioning. Got enough buttons here, it might have cruise control. We'll say it probably does come with at least something like that, so... got like a 3, but cruise control is a pretty big feature, so we'll say 4. Wait, what was the price of it? There we go. $36,000. So fairly cheap. Comfort. I mean, it's very, very not great suspension. Seats look fairly comfortable, nice and buckety. Fairly quiet thing. Has a very low tire profile. So back in the 90s, that's not going to be the most comfortable. Got a comfort of like maybe a 7. It's fairly comfortable. Quality. It's Japanese, so it's going to be very good, but it's not going to feel very good. But I put lasting long as a much more important thing. So we'll give that a 7. It's not a brand spanking new car, so it doesn't get full marks there. Practicality? I mean, it's a... oh no, it is. It does have rear seats. But you're not really fitting anybody in there, so it's not the most practical. Boot size will be okay, but you do have to fit the Targa roof in there if that's what you want to do. So not hugely practical, but not very unpractical either. Or impractical, I should say. Like a 6, no, a 5. It's not the most practical car. It's only a 2-door. Looks like it'd be easy to park. Value, you know, even a 4. It's not much of a practical vehicle at all. Value, it was a good price. I'm assuming now these cars, like these Halo cars, phenomenally expensive. So we're gonna say like a value of 3. May not be the top end one, but it looks like it might do pretty darn well. Ongoing costs. Two people and 2 grocery bags. Yeah, you're getting an extra je ne sais quoi point for that. Ongoing costs. So, you know, it's probably going to be pretty darn good. Being Japanese, quite cheap. Looks like it's got some custom pieces. Now, we've seen that with the Figaro. The Nissan Figaro had a few custom pieces. Like the window winders that are custom and no other car and are breaking now. They are phenomenally expensive to replace. So those things are going to like bump it down a little bit. And the fuel usage is not going to be the best, but it's also not going to be bad anyway. It's a 90s car. They're getting much better at fuel efficiency. J-beam editing. I don't believe there was any, right? Didn't you say there was none? I can't remember. J-beam editing. Added cockpit camera. Okay. 1. We can't say no for that, because at least you got in there, got your hands dirty. Would I buy it? Yes, but I'd probably never be able to afford it with the used market price. The je ne sais quoi factor. I'm feeling like a 4 plus 1 for that really awesome 2 plus 2 joke. The realism and commonality. I feel it's too narrow for that amount of power. But then again, the Mazda MX-5 got... RX-7 got away with that. So... we might give that, like... hold on. What do we got? I don't know about the semi-trailing arm on these sorts of cars. Boxer rear-wheel drive, quite rare. Twin turbo would have been fairly common. Let's do a quick check here. Oh yeah, not so bad.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Cool, but no, not the sort of music we play here. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think an 8 just feels kind of good. It's like quite common, but there's a few things that are a bit unusual. Multilink would have been more common. And a total fill score of 90. That was actually genuinely a mistake just then. Perfectly executed by me. Love it. I don't know, it's a box of 6. It's a bit, yeah. I want to know if he would buy it. I would if I could afford it. This looks pretty cool, but also knowing that it wasn't a very good handling car would put it lower down on the list for me. To me, this car seems more Italian than Japanese for some reason. I get that, but that's kind of what they were going for. In the 90s is when they were starting to move on away from just copying everyone else, but there was still a little bit of that, so yeah. I knew he would not afford it. Yeah. The Subaru Alsonic has a flat 6, but it has all drive. Yeah. Multilink on 1994 Japanese sports car would be more realistic. Yeah. It was a weird song. The rear end was inspired by a 90s Maserati. Oh. Okay. I didn't know that. It does look like something, I just couldn't put my finger on it. I don't know which Maserati you're referring to. A picture would be helpful, or a name would be helpful. Next car is... this one. I'm not sure what place to take this to. Maybe Old Le Mans, or Circuit de la Sarthe. There we go. 1967. Love it. All right. I'm guessing it's just rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. Oh, this thing bogs hard. There we go. Okay, that was better. I think maybe you just didn't know that I was pressing the clutch, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, no, this map? Oh, brings back memories, does it? I feel that this is a bit of a cheat, though, because this has, slicks, which this car would not have had. 219 kilometers an hour seem to be peaking out. Not great. You're probably going to be wanting to go for 1960s Le Mans car, even if this is meant to be the road car. Like 100 in miles per hour, 100 and... what would we want for a car that's not a Ford that was like breaking the 200 barrier? 180 maybe? If it's a lesser known company, maybe even less. But still, you're going to want an exceptionally high top speed. So we're going to find out what it tops out as and do some math. Not math. Have you got downforce on this? It feels like there's downforce here. 330 on the rear, probably no downforce. 200 and basically 250. Can somebody do the math? What is 250 kilometers an hour in miles per hour? That does not feel fast enough. I feel like this should go a lot faster. Oh, is this Classic Le Mans? Yeah, this is Classic Le Mans. Circuit de la Sarthe, as I said. Forza Horizon 2 flashbacks, you know what? Lots of flashbacks, nostalgia. Eh? I'm not sure what you mean. I took this car. Method suits me pretty well. Okay. 155 miles per hour. I feel that is not fast enough. Watch out for those pegs on the side of the road. They will peg you in the butthole. What engine is this? I feel that this thing probably would have been a V12 being Italian. No, they got a V8 in here. But at least it's cross-plane, so there's that. Hopefully it's a small displacement, like a 2.5 liter or something like that, maybe even 3. This thing has to have down... It does have downforce, because now we're only getting like 200 on the rear per tire. Yeah, it does have downforce. That's cheating. No. This car would have just had lift. It would have become incredibly unstable, which means you would have made sacrifices to make the car more controllable. These cars were not perfect. They were hard to drive. They were beastly, they were ghastly, they would kill you. They wouldn't be good. So having lift, as opposed to downforce that you've created, not accurate, even in the slightest, really. This car looks like a Forza Horizon 2 fast tracker. Okay then. Putting the plane in flat plane. Welcome FW Stance back to the stream, bruh. Ah! Also your choice of tires. There is so many questionable decisions here. I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a fill score of like 6. It looks pretty cool. There's some stuff here I like, but I feel you cheated too much. I feel you went, I want this, so I'm going to have it. Or, I could go realistic, but I want this to handle like this, so I'm going to do that instead. No, these cars were dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Let's go on, move on to the next car. Ah, the little Japanese car. I wish we had a Japanese map for it. But it turns out every freaking map is American apart from Italy. I'm guessing even Automation Test Track. Doesn't say, but I'm just going to go ahead and guess. What else we got here? That's default game. Cliff. A massive mountain protruding from the ocean. Push a car off the top, see how far... there's probably a Hawaiian island. Who knows? Derby Arena. In Texas. Great. This is in Germany. Very much. Yep, Germany. Okay, so we got 2 that aren't. Grid map. A surreal testing environment with a number of obstacles, ramps, and tester. That's probably in America. Jungle Rock Island. Probably South America. Island in the Pacific. Could be an American territory. Industrial site is American. We saw that one. Hirochi is American. Small island USA. I'm guessing USA, Utah, USA, West Coast. Why do they love America so much? I hate that. Pretty sure Test Track is New Zealand, as it is a right-hand drive map. Is it? Ooh. There's no one that takes me up to the mountains, which will actually show me things. Let's have a look. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Find out Italy is actually American. Oh, that would be awesome. It is! It is right-hand drive. Oh, awesome. So, this is the closest approximation as what we can get to Japan then. Italy, New York. New Zealand is canon in BeamNG universe, I guess. America has some great driving roads because of infrastructure is stupid. We have a DCT transmission. This is meant to be 65 horsepower, but I feel it's already too fast. And the engine is too big for a K car as well. As I said, the design is a little bit flat, unfortunately. It looks kind of cool, but there are like many questionable things that I'm not a big fan of. Automation Test Track has mountains and the dam. Yes? There's a town in the Ukraine called New York. Nice sound. I mean, it sounds like a boxer engine, so can't complain too much there. I don't know if I've said hello to you yet. Hello, Supra Mark IV. How's it going, bruv? Welcome to the stream. Turn. Yeah, I thought this thing suffered a bit from understeer. Maybe that might be ESC. We'll give it a bit more of a try. So 2.4 liter flat four. So yeah, meant to be 660 cc. Tisk. How could you? I feel so betrayed by my own viewer. Drift when? Welcome, worker. This is not a drift car. Is this all-wheel drive? It feels all-wheel drive. Yep, that is a front differential as well. So this is not really a drift car. We're gonna try driving it first before we try drift. Let's see what its top speed handling is like. Pretty decent. So it's just low speed. It's not particularly happy. It's got a very high top speed for the amount of horsepower. I'm assuming this thing has a lot of torque. Ooh. Did I brake too late just then? We weren't going very fast. It felt very stable otherwise. Maybe it just has way too powerful of front brakes. There's a town called Moscow in the USA. There's a Chinatown in every city. Okay, so... yeah, okay, the front brakes are overpowered. They're not the worst. I have seen much worse. Let's have a look. So we have single piston on the front and single piston on the rear. They both seem to be about the same sort of size. Let's go ahead, Control W, tuning. Brake power. Let's increase the rear brake power by about 15-ish%. Brakes don't seem to be good. Washington D, Siberia when? What's there, a town in the south of America called Afghanistan or something like that? I remember seeing it in that one Top Gear special. Oh, God. I love Top Gear. Yeah, front brakes are still washing us out too much. So let's do a little bit more tuning on that. Brake power. A little less on the front, a little more on the rear. There we go. An extra 5 on the rear, and taking a little over 9% from the front. Alright, let's see how it goes. Understeer like a train a little bit. But I'm assuming, since it handles really nicely at high speed, that was the sacrifice they made. Okay, with a little bit of brake tuning, we're doing a little bit better. Cossack's not the greatest for testing out, though. Yeah, we're doing a little bit better. We're going a little bit slower. I'm feeling I'm pussyfooting it a little bit with the brakes. Alright, let's try ESC off. Entirely. We don't need that junk. Get that out of here. There are towns named after towns in the USA, but in the US, but there are not town called America in America. Coincidence? I think not. But there's also like New York City in New York and Washington in Washington, I think. Is that right? I can't remember. Whatever. But oh, there's a Washington City and a Washington State. I'm not sure. Okay, that has helped our brakes considerably. But still, this thing is prone to slow speed understeer, which is not super satisfying, considering that this is meant to be a road car. Most of the time, you're going to be on a road. So I would have loved to have seen you maybe, like, induce a little bit of lift on the front, but have more mechanical front grip. That way you get the grip that you want, but you're not oversteering at high speeds if that's what you want to discourage, which is what a lot of manufacturers would actually do. They would induce understeer at high speeds, so then you're not going to crash. If you crash whilst understeering, the manufacturer can say, oh, they were going too fast. But if you spun around, they're like, oh, that car is dangerous. So they induce understeer at high speeds. Even at low speeds most of the time. Alright, braking it about there. That was my bad. I unsettled it, and probably should have braked it a little bit earlier. This car is not the most perfectly balanced. Our best place to test this out, though, would probably be Adam's Apex, and we're going to see how this car goes at Adam's Apex. So we're going to get through Kilrob Chicane first, and then through Popsicle. Actually, after we go through Kilrob, I think we'll, God, this car is so slow off the line because of that DCT. I hate it. It'd be better with an automatic. All right. Popsicles, not so bad. Slowing it down now for Adam's Apex. I stuffed up, and it's not the best drift car. I'm going to be honest. US capital is Washington, but there's a state on the opposite side of the country called Washington. Yes, I thought so. Houston, Siberia. Love it. Going straight into the 70s. So 70 kilometers an hour for Adam's Apex, not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It just happened to be good at high speeds, honestly. Maybe my trail braking. I am trail braking. You weren't able to trail brake with the initial brake setup though, because it was causing too much washout. Watch my video on brake tuning, and that'll help you out a lot. If you haven't already. If you have, it was a good start, but could have been better. Haven't driven an automation car in ages. Have they improved in the last years, or are people just making better tunes? I think, with my feedback that I give everyone, we've raised the bar a little bit, at least in my community. A lot of people still are creating garbage cars, yes. But a lot of people here are doing pretty well, and I like to give feedback, so we're trying to help people grow. Unfortunately, this has caused a little bit of a weird space where now a lot of people are creating really good cars, which is uncommon. Welcome, Ryuko. You've made it in time for the last car. Let's give this thing a full fill score. Styling. It's too flat. It's way too flat on the front and rear. I'm not a big fan, and I hate that rear diffuser that's inverted. Also, in automation, if you're running the new version of automation, these lips now actually add downforce, unlike previously. Is this new automation? I feel it might be. So yeah, just so happening, yeah, I probably do a little bit of extra work there. Styling! 6, I really don't. I can't get over how flat it looks. This is the last car? Yes, it is, unfortunately. Interesting, never liked cars I've driven. There will be one more I try. Working. There's 2 videos that I'll get you to watch then. Philman 86 suspensions all over your face, and my latest braking tutorial video. Watch those 2. And if you want to create a downforce monster, watch my latest video on downforce. You gotta go, guys, but I'll be watching this on TV, so the TV will watch the stream and not me. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Pruny YT, for coming by. I just wanted to make sure I got your name right. You managed to catch the ending. Well done. How to not flat? Huh? I know quite a few here, but clearly I am not. Huh? What? Wait, people are making good cars? Where? I mean, this week there's been at least 2 phenomenal cars. Oh, it's been a good stream. I am going to drive I'm going to drive my favorite car after this as well, just for a little bit extra. Acceleration. It feels really bad. But once you get into the turbo, it doesn't feel so bad. So we'll give it a 6. Handling. Give it a 6. It's on the good side of mediocre. Fun factor. It doesn't feel very fun. Cool factor. I'm guessing it's really cool. Mid-engine, all that sort of stuff. You know what? A kid would look at that and say, wow! Trackability. It could. It just... You know, it's not actually that slow. We'll give it a 7. Features. What is the price of this car? What is the name of it? The RDX Craze Mark III. Okay. KU3. $32,700. So this will be like, if it's Japanese, moderate trim. Looks fairly high-tech. Does this have... No, I don't think it has any J-beam in here. Is that a drift brake? Really? Also, why is there 2? I don't understand. How to not flat. Languages. Language and squats. Nice. Is making a non-flat design car as easy as adding more depth to the grille fixtures and adding... I mean, that would be some of it. But you've chosen... You know what? I'm going to call them cookie cutter grill bits. Not because, like, people say, oh, this is cookie cutter, meaning that it's just the same as everything else. What I mean there is the fact that it just looks like it's had a defined hard edge on the cutout. There's no shape into the grill. So no, it is not simple. You're going to have to use a lot of extra things to add to this to make it work. You've got leading lines and all that sort of stuff. So you've got some stuff in here. But it just... maybe make some things deeper. Like this grill here could have been considerably deeper. And you could have tried to do anything there. Maybe like add a bit of like patchwork bit that goes up like that to make it look as if it's working a little bit like an air scoop. Things like that potentially could have worked. But yeah, no. This just looks... Also the fact that I think you've squished the body molding to be really flat, or does it naturally stay that flat? I'm not sure. I don't know. 2 handbrakes, one for the front and one for the rear. Did you miss stream? I mean, you've come into the last car, but I'm going to do a little bit more. The car looks like it's straight from Lego. A little bit, yes, actually. Oh, look at the rear for some air ducts quality. Features. I can't remember. What did we see again? I mean, it's got a touchscreen, so it'll have most things. We'll give it like maybe a 6. It's not the most high-tech car. It's low budget. Relatively. Comfort. It's a very small car. But okay seats, a little bit loud. It's probably going to drone a little bit, but it doesn't look so bad. It's not the most practical car. So we'll give that like a 7. Because the seats should look comfy as a choice. Quality. It's Japanese, but it is a boxer engine. And it is mid-engine, so it's going to be like hard and expensive. So that'll go into the ongoing cost. Give it like a 7. Hold on, what's the price again? 32. So yeah, it won't be cheap. Practicality. Yeah, 3. Because 2 seats, next to no boot space at all. Probably no front space. You know, we'll give that a 2 actually. That's probably the most unpractical car we've had so far in a very long time. Value. It's an okay price. It's probably going to hold its price as well, so give that a 6. Ongoing costs. I didn't give that like a 6. It's good, but like any sort of repairs on this thing is going to be a real pain in the butt. Especially considering it's probably a very low production run as well. J-beam editing. I don't think there was any. Would I buy it? Kind of mid-engine Japanese sports car? Yeah? You know, actually... But then again, I would know that people say that it didn't handle well because that would get out there, so probably not. But I would still kind of like it if it was cheap enough. The je ne sais quoi factor. I feel that everything is fairly well represented here. Realism and commonality. A boxer rear engine seems like a problem. Especially if the engine is between the wheels, which it is. Yeah, no, that's problematic, especially since you called it a K car. That's very inaccurate. But not anything out of this world. We'll give it a 3. It's quite uncommon. But yeah, a score of 77. Not bad, but not good for a new car. MP shenanigans after testing? Oh, that's too much effort. I only just wanted to do a couple of laps, maybe, in that one car. This car is apparently from 2026, so should it be electric anyway? Oh, really? It is too. Oh, dear. Oh, that would hurt a score even more. Let's go ahead and bring out my favorite car. Now, I know the Volkswagen probably had a lot more time and effort put into it, and I am sorry. But I love this car. Just... something about it just speaks to me. Like, the little touches, like this little thing here. Sometimes these would be aerials as well. They'd have like a aerial running horizontal with a hood sort of thing. I just like it. It's really cool details in here as well. Oh, they've got the radiator behind there. Nice. And then they've like blocked off as well with like a dividing panel. There is actually a lot of detail here. I don't entirely agree with the engine, but yeah, pretty good. The car because it looks like vaguely Swedish. I don't know about that. Is it because it's Volvo? I'm not a Saab fan at all. I don't know why people would think that. But a Volvo fan, yes, this doesn't really... I wouldn't say this looks Volvo-esque. Like maybe the fact that it's a medium-sized sedan? That's about it. Nothing else really screams Volvo. Also, Volvos generally actually had pretty decent power. Like a lot of people call them grandma cars, but they were not that slow. Like now they're quite fashionable, and like their resale is out of this world, which is stupid. Oh, that understeer lockup. Oh, it's about right. It's okay, Phil man. There's no wrong opinions apart from opinions that aren't mine. Oh, I'm flattered, Micah. Ah, good. It looks more like DAF. Yeah, it does look a little bit DAF. If like you get somebody with a mohawk in there, it'd be a little bit like DAF Punk. No, not a bad idea. We aren't going to eliminate all of the carbon emissions by 2025, sadly. But I totally would, for lower center of mass, add all that. What? E-Dragon? Oh, that car. Okay. What year was that car again? I forgot. 2026. It would most likely be electric. Because sports cars are hard to sell. You have to have every gimmick in the book for it. And that does include electric. Even going for hybrid. It's like, you're seeing now the NSX being the first of the Japanese cars to go with a sports electric sort of thing where it's got the hybrid system. The BeamNG i8, the new MX... No, not MX. MR2. They were talking about is meant to be electric as well. Like full electric. Which... The MR2 was meant to be cheap. So going electric for that is not going to make it cheap. Which means that they're going to go for like all of the clickbait titles, so then people will want to buy it. And yeah, I think it's going to do well. Ooh. It's a little bit understeery, unfortunately. But it feels quite chuckable. Did I give this car a 9? If I didn't, this car gets a 9. Like, there's no JBM editing, which is unfortunate. But you've made up for it in the fact that this car is just kind of cool. It's just satisfying. It's just... I don't know any other way of saying it. It's not really awesome, it's not really cool, it's definitely not fast, and it's not the best handling car. It's just... satisfying. Just nice. Pretty good. I'll have to spend some time learning electric vehicle modding. I did that video. It's as easy as a drag and drop now. There's a little bit more to it if you want to make it a shareable mod. But aside from that, it's actually pretty darn simple. Go watch my electric car video. I think one of my best videos. My partner loves the hell out of that video. Because I saw the video and then shared it with her. And then they were like, oh, you have to make this into an automation car. I was already kind of pondering it, but I hadn't really thought it through. And when they said it, I was like, yes, you're right, actually. I do have to actually do that. Because I think at the time I was thinking, like, I should do an electric supercar because that will get the most clicks. But then I ended up... like seeing that video, being like, that would make a fun electric car video. But I didn't really think it through. But when I saw their enthusiasm for that car video, that Simpsons video, they were like, yes, you have to do this. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right, I do. All right. So I did it. And I even went in and did one of my first major custom sound editing jobs for a video. I had done it before, I did know how to do it, I knew some tweaking, and I got that pretty darn right. It's not good car in the sense it's not a fast sports car or something, but it's just satisfying to drive. Like driving a nice slow car that just reacts to how you expect. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. All electric is cool and all, but with all electric, there's no vroom vroom. I get it, there's no sound, which makes sense. I personally like them both electric and petrol and hybrids. I was going to say in between, because I couldn't think of the word. And I also like diesels. I like rotaries. I appreciate everything for their own, like, interesting parts. Like, probably my least favorite out of all those is mostly due to technicalities, which would be the rotary. The rotary is the least efficient. The old engines have big wear problems. They're not the most robust most of the time. And they, what's the last one? Oh, that's it. Yeah, no, they're not very fuel efficient. Having asthma and also... what? I really appreciate being able to breathe. Okay. I finally finished the interior of my AMC Colette Swordfish GT. Okay, good. But the rotary goes crap. I love the idea of the rotary. The idea of the rotary is really cool. And it sounds really frickin' awesome. Like, I've almost bought a few rotaries over my years. Like, originally the old Dart-styled rotaries. And then I came this close to buying an RX-8. Oh, sorry, RX-7. Like, Series 8, I believe, was the one. Almost bought it, but I had problems getting it into Australia, so it was not going to happen, which was really disappointing. I ended up getting the SIL 80 instead, which I ended up being really disappointed in, and ended up selling at a massive loss because I just didn't care about it. Literally allergic to the act of swallowing. Oh dear. Esophagus? Okay. The rotary is just a two-stroke engine with less pistons. Bite me. Would it be more like a 0.3 stroke? Since, like, there's a detonation per full rotation, like 3 detonations per rotation? Or ignitions, I should say. Makes traffic not fun? What does? Oh, you're talking about your thing. I wish automation had rotaries so I could make a 1970s station wagon with one. Here's the problem. Rotaries do not have much torque. So that's a pretty big problem. I doubt you're going to, like, make good marketing. The advantage of a rotary is its power to weight. So if you have a very light car, say like a sports car, it does alright. They do alright. You love the original Felix Wankel's idea of rotary engines? Alright. Phil, can I see the BMW ESC Saloon, please? You can rewind the video if you want. But yeah, I think that is pretty much today's stream. This is just a satisfying car. It's just... It's just nice. I want to go in and make a side draft engine though, like that other person made. Actually, I think I did make a side draft. Yeah, no, my Cookmobile that I did with the race across the map of Italy, that I did with Twin Turbos, who did like a weird boat electric car weird thing, which was pretty awesome, and the Steam vehicle by I can't remember his name. Tievsky, that's right. Yeah. You did your Flathead i8 car. Yes. That one was side draft. I want to do more of that. I love the idea of side draft because it's so shit. You actually did the same guy? Yes. The heavy rotary car is not a good idea, i.e. the Mazda Cosmo. Wait, Wait, they did a Cosmo in the 90s? I was going to say the Mazda Cosmo was heavy, but then you said in the 90s? Lots of weird things I don't know. What is this? Mazda Cosmo. Oh, what the hell? See, this is the Cosmo I know. Have I seen this before? I don't think I have. That is a weird and not very good looking car. I'm getting a lot of, what's the word? Toyota Sora. That's what I'm getting vibes from with this car. And I think the Toyota Sora is one of the ugliest cars to come out of Japan. Yeah, the Toyota Sora. Also known as a Lexus something or other. Yeah, this car. And I hate to look at this car. I think this is a really not good looking car. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that. The Enos Cosmo was a Halo car from the 90s. It was a 3-door and had GPS inside some. Oh, nice. 80s Cosmos looks the best. 1985, I suppose. We'll have a look at that. Oh. Nah. I don't like that. It's not doing it for me. Those are some weird-ass seats. What the hell? Yeah, it's not doing it for me, bruh. I'm not digging it. I thought they only ever, like, after the first one, they just kept to the one model of rotary vehicle. Then they also tried rotary ute, which is a bad idea. Now this Cosmo, I would have that in a heartbeat. That looks really good. Oh yeah, there was the RX-3. I don't like the RX-3. Spoiler alert, the GPS isn't really that great. Really? 1972 Dodge Polaris, best sedan of the 70s fighting. Alright, let's have a look at this Dodge Polaris. You can see what it is and judge you harshly upon your tastes. You know what it looks like? Some 1970s American car. Apart from this line down here, which is very subtle anyway, I see nothing defining about this car. This one a little bit more with the headlights inside of the bumper grill mashed together thing. That looks a little bit better. But it still looks like some car. It's not floating my goat. It's a saloon, not a sedan? Okay. Mazda was a weird and wild company. Was, yes! Okay, let's check out what this Moscovich is that everyone was talking about, saying that the car that I was just driving then looks like. Okay, yeah, I see that. Looks pretty nice. I like it. I'd dig that. I'd ship that. The 1972 has a lower fascia. Alright, whatever. I mean, it looks like some car. It's not lighting my pants on fire, bruv. Yeah, I think that's the end of today's stream. Yeah, so 77 for that last car. Yeah, alright. That is a thank you everyone for coming by. I hope you have enjoyed the cars. I hope you've enjoyed me. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. But we're going to start saying our goodbyes now. So, E-Dragon, thank you for coming by and hanging around for the entire stream. Ryuko, thank you for coming by and hanging around for the entire last car and the rest. Crownless, thank you for coming by. The 1970 Mitsubishi Galant. Oh, no, thanks. Not a big fan of that car. Alberto Motors. We shall see, Alberto, about your car being in the next stream. FW Stats, thanks for coming by again. Who else we got here? Stefan P. I'm not sure if I've said hello to you yet, but well, goodbye at least. Thank you for coming by. Crownless, did I say that? Yeah, anyway. Enjoying Philman? Space Warrior, thank you for coming by and hanging around for the longest time. And IELTS lols you, thank you for the car and for hanging around. Dr. Eurobeat, I think I said hello to you, but if not, well, here's at least a goodbye. So goodbye to you too. And I think, did I say goodbye to Broken Ursa? Well, thank you, Broken Ursa, for your car. And catch you next time as well. Ah, Sin, you're still here. Thank you for coming by. But that is it for this week's stream. So, I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.